and we ain't never got a box again. Well, I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Yeah, you know the deal. We back again. Yo. A round of applause for Jersey's finest. A lot of content creators not worthy, but they minus. They get offended and start singing like the whiners. Talking like they tough, but it's only screaming and whining. My homie JusDueBoxing is the cat you don't come to. Your squad get run through. By the time you come to, you duck food. You suckers talk tough on the internet, revealing all your threats. Now we got you trapped in the net. JusDueBoxing be on this grind, y'all better hustle up. You deadlifted 90 pounds, we doing muscle ups. There's really no comparison. His voice sound like a derringer. Throwing a towel, it's just embarrassing. My dog Just very philosophical and psychological, and he mixed it all with good boxing news. These YouTubers feel like Bishop, I guess they got the juice, but it's lonely at the top to Just to feel like child abuse. Be respectful, he don't want to talk wild and loose. If you can't relate, you get dismissed like a mild dispute. These weird cats will tell lies, then they hide the truth. Why beyond views? You lose your life when you collide with dude. It's JusDueBoxing. All you cowards quit jocking. Kirk is official with no other options. Yeah, yo. You know the deal. Judah Ben, we in the spot. JusDueBoxing, yeah. And of course, shout out to Mrs. Do, holding the whole family down. Word 'em up, word 'em up.
What's good? Salute to the fam. We back again. Round 2 on this Good Friday. Hope everybody feeling good, man. Y'all catch this on the playback. Y'all already know, man. Sub to the channel. Smash the like button. Turn them notifications on and come rock out. What's good with y'all, though, man? How's everybody feeling? Kyle Sports, what's good with the Brody? Back for round 2. Miss Joette, salute to the queen. How you feeling today? D1, damn. I know how that be, bro. I be forgetting passwords all the time, bro. The average summer, what it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling today? We're going to do a little bit of cooking today, man. I know it's Friday. But we gonna build a little bit on this good boxing, man. I seen something that caught my attention, and I like his thinking. You know, I seen the Devin Haney. He was speaking about making a fight with Tank Davis, and again, I know he got Regis, but I like the fact that he's thinking. You know, he's putting some thought into that fight. It seemed like, and you know, from his voice, his words alone, he's willing to do what it takes to make the fight. So that's always going to be a fight, I think, that people going to want to see anytime they can get it. And the interesting thing, too, about this is not only do Devin Haney feel like Tank Davis is his biggest fight, it's crazy that Shakur Stevenson feels the same way. And with all this face of boxing talk going on, you know, people asking who the face of boxing is. It Canelo? Is it Tank? We just seen, you know, Canelo and Charlo fight. They fight reportedly did 650 to 700K pay-per-view buys. We know Tank and Ryan did like 1.2 million. So I don't know, man. Them numbers is something different. Big Texas, what it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? I got you, D1. I got you over here, man. I'll tighten you up, brother. Don't even worry about it. But yeah, man, so I like the way he's thinking in this instance, right? And again, for him, it's about delivering and making big fights. And I'm not here to try to, you know, stir up a narrative. I just like where his mind is going in this situation. I like the way he's thinking. I like the fact that he feels like this is the biggest fight. And that's what makes me feel like, you know, Tank is a potential face of boxing. But, you know, I have another question for the people. Can there be more than one face of boxing? And I think the answer to that is yes. I think it can be. You know what I'm saying? I think it could be multiple faces of boxing. I do. Now, I ain't saying it could be a whole slew of them, but I think it could be more than one face of boxing. And why I say that? Because you got so many different weight classes. And when you look at it, you got a Canelo Alvarez that's just easily one of the most popular boxers in the sport, right? Then you got a Tank Davis for the smaller guys. That's easily one of the most popular boxers in the sport. It's no doubt about it. Like, look at the numbers, 650 to 700K. That's not bad either. You get what I'm saying? In my opinion, you know, 1.2. Now that's extra good. But at the same time, man, I just think both of those dudes, when it come down to it, they carry their weight in terms of putting some asses in seats and bringing revenue in. They do. That's why I think it could be more than one, you know what I'm saying, more than one face of boxing in this case. Big Tex, what it do? Coastal, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling? I got you, family. Yes, man. Y'all go sub to the Brody. Get him to the mark, man. Average sum. Can we really compare them, though? Tank fights prior was 200K. I mean, look. Can you compare them? You don't have to average someone, right? You can just identify that I think both guys do well in terms of bringing people in, right? Putting asses in seats and things like that. Being part of live gates that's very lucrative and things like that. So for me, I'm not really trying to say one is better than the other. What my stance is in this situation is I think it could be more than one face. So if it's people that's feeling like it's Canelo, you won't get an argument with me. You get what I'm saying? If it's people that feel like it's Tank, you won't get an argument with me. You get what I'm saying? It's not just numbers. It's like constantly being able to sell out. That's with consistency. That's a extreme amount of drawing power, and Canelo been bringing in big bags for boxing. So I just, you know, I'll let the people have at it as to who they want to be the ultimate face. But I think when it pertains to these two guys in particular, I think they definitely just carry their weight for real at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Canelo carries his weight, especially if you get in there with somebody that we want to see, then we'll see. I think we'll see improved numbers. You get what I'm saying? I think we'll see better numbers, but I think they both do their thing. Say Tank to FaceTime too. Tank numbers on his next fight. Right, I get you, bro. I'm with you, man. Free Republic, what's good with it? Crawford versus who? I don't know, man. I don't know who Crawford gonna fight next. It's gonna be interesting to see, though. Mexican face sentiment, face Tank Davis. I'm telling you, I think they both respectfully, like I know a lot of people that like they want to go back and forth or they want to make one the definitive face over the other. I just think at the very core of it, you got two guys in their respective divisions that really hold weight. Just when it's all said and done, for me, I really don't care who does more and who does better, who's the bigger draw. Like at the end of the day, one thing we know for sure, two things for certain. Those dudes sell tickets and put asses in seats. You get what I'm saying? And they've been a part of some very lucrative fights and big gates and different things like that, selling out venues. So for me, boxing is already competition enough. Like, I don't feel the need to try to pit these dudes up against each other in every individual category, right? I just don't care that way. For me, I look at it as a whole, right? I look at it when you look at a guy at 135, 5'5.5", holding weight like that, getting people to really want to come see him like that. You just got to appreciate it, right? And the same thing for Canelo Alvarez, man. You just got to, a fighter that very experienced, that been boxing all his life. You get what I'm saying? So he just putting on. And I think when you really look at it, it's good for the sport. When you got more than one guy that's thriving, that's doing good in their respective divisions. I think that's how I look at it, right? I don't really care to argue who's doing more and better, but I know when I look at these guys, these dudes putting up numbers. You get what I'm saying? Some solid numbers, putting asses in seats, not so much just pay-per-view. And you know why I don't put too much stock into pay-per-view personally, like for me, because people steal fights and all types of stuff. It'd be a lack of support sometimes. So for me, if you can really bring people to those arenas and sell them out, I think that's great. You know what I mean? I feel like pay-per-view buys and all that stuff, that's just a plus, man. But those people that actually show up there physically and you can consistently do that despite who you fighting, I think that speaks volumes for you and your drawing power as a fighter. You get what I'm saying? I think that's overall good for the sport. So I know a lot of people try to put them up against each other. Oh, no, Canelo's the face. Oh, no, Tank's the face. Oh, Canelo and them only did 650, 700K. Ryan and Tank did 1.2. Well, most of that was Ryan. It's like it just get redundant. It's like it's draining. At the end of the day, let's just identify that boxing is in a great place when we could see you know, good numbers like what we've been seeing in some of these fights, especially when it's something we want to see. So that's how I look at it, man. It could be more than one face of boxing. And I think in this instance, it really is, man. I think you just, like I said, you got two guys that's really, really doing their thing. And they're not the only ones, you know what I'm saying? But they're just two of the most notable and talked about, right? About every video I've seen comparing them, but you're right. You get what I'm saying, though. The average someone, they want to compare them in that way, and I get it. It's natural competition. Well, this one's doing, but for me, I look at the whole, the bigger picture. You got two guys, like a bigger guy, he's 68. You got one of the smaller guys, right, doing their thing, putting up some numbers. You got AJ do good numbers, right? They'll be like, oh, well, it's they said that, well, his ticket sales are so cheap. I don't even care about that. The fact is, when that man fights, people show up to watch him fight, and that's what's important at the end of the day. Mike Biggs Boxing, what's good, my bro? How you feeling? Appreciate you pulling up. And salute to everybody that subs to the homie Big Texas, man, and get my bro over his mark, man. But yeah, man, that's how it is. The average someone, some people just, you know, more concerned with trying to make one fighter look superior to the other. And notice a lot of the times the arguments be centered around a lot of subjective stuff, and it don't even be the actual work that the fighters is being that the fighters is putting in. So for me, I just look at it a little different, man. I like the fact that you got more than one guy that can genuinely put asses in the seats and make things interesting, man, and show that you can have some drawing power and the supporter. They got the support of the people. That's Tank Davis, man. Now, let me pull this clip up from Devin Haney, man, and let y'all hear what he had to say.
May.
And like I said, anytime this fight come up or this matchup, people gonna like it, man. People gonna and I hope did I get the right one? I hope I did. Hold on. Salute to the fan, man, pulling up for the round 2, man, and everybody that came through for the first trip. All right, yeah, let me play this, man.
Talks at all with Team Haney after both of their last fights in April and May? Just
any talks?
Yeah, like you know, just because after both of their fights, their schedules were cleared and they're the two top lightweights.
But it don't happen.
Yeah.
Because the fans don't understand, you know, and I get frustrated, you know.
I mean, even if
it don't work like that. And as I would say, some of those fights aren't ready at the moment. That's the best way to put it. Some of those fights aren't ready at the moment. And I think you can read between the lines why. Tank Davis is, like, he just generated, him and Ryan Garcia coming off of this fight, they generated more money than the entire lightweight and junior welterweight division with everybody combined in their careers. You know what I mean? It's just like, so you have to kind of put things in perspective. And yeah, at the end of the day, people, this is prize fighting. You just ain't getting ready to go. You like, and one thing I do know, Tank Davis is not going to be taking no pay cut to do anything. He's the boss. So, again, is that all those guys are terrific fighters. I ain't got to call their names. They all are terrific fighters. They fight their behind off, but at the end of the day, Tank's that dude.
Once this and then just.
And real quick, that was Leonard ELLERBE thoughts to it, and to some degree, like, Mike, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling? I understand what he's saying to some degree. Like, if you just look at the Tank and Ryan fight, right? It didn't happen right initially when we heard Ryan speak in Tank name, right? It did somewhat in a weird way kind of marinate, right? And then when they fought, you seen the numbers. So to that effect, to that extent, I understand what ELLERBE is saying in terms of saying like the fight is not ready in terms of that, right? Marination, right? But some people feel like that marination model ruins the sport of boxing, right? And it ends up dragging fights out way longer than it need to be. And then people end up losing interest. I think in this case, these dudes are still young enough where the marination process might not necessarily affect the outcome of this fight, right? But at the same token, I do still think where they're at currently is still a big enough fight for them to do good numbers and make a big bag. And I don't understand why he would think that anybody fighting Tank Davis would expect him to take a pay cut. I don't get why he said that. I wonder where he was going with that, because I don't see nobody asking Tank to take no pay cut. I mean, he's the bag. Like, he's getting people their biggest bag. So, you know, it ain't going, you know, who he fight doesn't affect what he get paid, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can fight whoever, he's still gonna get paid accordingly. So I don't understand what he meant by Tank ain't taking a pay cut. But I mean, he shouldn't though. Why should he? You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no reason to. Midnight, what's good with it? He says you can't run from dead forever. What's good with it, Midnight? Let's play this. Let's see what Dev had to say.
About Tank for a minute. When Leonard ELLERBE always talks about the business has to make sense. The business has to make sense. If it's inevitably a scenario like Bud encountered with Spence, like, you got to sign with us to get the fight kind of thing. Will you go for that in the future? Are you not feeling that, or what do you think?
I mean, I don't want you to be speaking for them. They're trying to, you know.
Right.
But I'm willing to do what it takes to make the biggest fights happen. I've proven that. I've signed with, you know, other networks and promoters to make the fights happen. So we just got to see it. We got to see what type of position that I'm in. If they were to offer a fight, you know, at times, you know, I could do that. Sometimes I couldn't do that. I could, you know, as far as, you know, jumping over whatever. But I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make the biggest fights happen. And yeah.
I wonder if that's becoming the biggest fight in boxing.
I think so.
Anybody who he wants to fight, because he's that big. And it don't have to be for a belt. It don't have to, and I can say that. I mean, he's that guy. He's that guy.
That's true. I agree.
But, you know, I know firsthand. You know, and this is from his mouth. That you know, he's gonna get the guys that they say that they want. He's gonna get those guys. It's just a matter of time. Cause Tank Davis ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. He's looking to do what he's got to go do. Now, timeline-wise, is that everything don't happen according to everybody else's plan, because just how the business, you know, how the business goes. And Tank can speak for himself. I'm not speaking for him, but I'm just saying that, you know, I know firsthand he wants if the fans say that guy is the guy, he gonna get that guy. It just might not be when they say he's going to dictate the terms on how that goes along.
Was it right?
And we all pretty much understand that. I mean, being the A side like Tank is, having that type of drawing power, he usually going to dictate the terms. And I think the thing is, most people that fight him, if not all of them, they understand that. They understand that he's going to get them their biggest payday. You know what I'm saying? So, the only issue is the matter of time and when these fights is going to happen. Like, and I get what he's saying, like Tank going to dictate the terms and things like that. But people be wanting more definitive answers than that, right? Than those politically correct answers, which you not saying nothing wrong, but not really saying nothing right. Really, you get what I'm saying? You saying something, but you ain't saying too much, right? And that's kind of like what that is. So I get it. I mean, I've always given Tank the credit. William Old School, salute, brother. How you feeling? Kello, what's good, my bro? How you feeling? He's saying casual fans are what drives pay-per-view numbers, and that's the crazy part. That is true, bro. I think we outnumber Kello. I think we fit in the diehard category. You get what I'm saying? Patrick Bell, what's good with it, my bro? How you feeling, man? Appreciate you stopping through. Salute to everybody in the building. But yeah, man, the casuals do drive the pay-per-view numbers, but it's crazy that I think when you dealing with Tank Davis, he captured the imagination of both, right? Because he gives you exactly what people say, right? They say they want knockouts, and that's what he give you. So those sell themselves, right? And then on top of that, for the diehards, for those that watch Tank Davis, we understand that he's not just a knockout artist; he can box, right? So I think with that rare combination of you know, IQ, boxing ability with that God-given power, I think Tank has the ability to capture the imagination of both the casual and the diehard fan. And I think that's why it doesn't, when he fights somebody, even if it's not the name that everybody is calling for, the top name, it don't even got to be the top 2 or 3 names. And you can still put somebody in there and it'll still do well in terms of putting asses in seats, bringing people out, selling out, things like that. I'm not just talking about pay-per-view. I'm talking about really being able to physically always draw a crowd. That's just something that Tank Davis is blessed to be, you know. That's something that he got that aura, man. He bring those people out. And I said this before, he's in a very blessed position where you got genuinely a lot of people that's showing up that want to see him lose. And then you got those that really rock with him. And it's a good position to be in. You get what I'm saying? And all you got to do is just keep training, keep focused, keep your head down, and just keep winning, man. And you're going to keep putting up those numbers. You know what I'm saying? And I think the numbers can potentially increase and get even better in some areas, depending on who you fight. And if you start lining up these guys that people really want to see you fight, you know what I'm saying? It's always good, you know what I'm saying, to give the people what they want and give them their money's worth. Like that. Salute, fam. How you feeling? Appreciate you pulling up. Andrew Gray, what it do, homie? How you feeling, Brody? It's crazy to see when Tank hits someone clean, the whole crowd stands up. Facts, Kello. People be on their feet. You better not be sitting down at the Tank Davis fight when he start landing. You ain't gonna see nothing. You gonna miss it. And ain't nobody trying to hear nothing. Ain't nobody sitting down neither. I know how that get. I'm telling you, I know how I get. Everybody be on their feet, man. I'm telling you, when you watching a good fight, man, the crowd is nothing like a crowd being into the fight, man. That fight energy is just different. It's Rocha is a fool. What's good, Rocha? He said the fans hate knockouts. Oh man. But look, you see what the young Dev had to say. Ant, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling? Marquay, what's good with it, my bro? What's good with him? Giving respect to Devin, but I feel like it's a guy like Tank. Is Devin because he knows that he can't feel his power. It's a dangerous fight for Devin specifically. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's always that danger when you fight in Tank, right? Just letting the wrong punch land and getting your lights turned out. You get what I'm saying? You already know, D1, my guy, man. You gotta make sure you right. You already know. But yeah, man, it's always that danger when you fighting him if he land that punch, right? What's always gonna, you know, keep Devin in fights and always, you know, he always gonna be able to handle himself because he can box. You get what I'm saying? He can box. He can handle himself very well in there. So, you know what I mean? Even though, you know, some people might think he can't take the punch if it lands, he's still gonna have to land that punch. And Dev will make him work for it. I don't think it'll be the easiest, but it's definitely, nobody's gonna convince me that it's impossible, right? But that's what always will keep Dev in fights is discipline. The dude is always in shape. You get what I'm saying? Being top shape. That also helps you, you know, recover a bit when you do get hurt. So, you know what I mean? That's why you seen him, you know, not go down from that LEONARD shot. He might have felt it and buckled a little bit, but he ain't go down because he be in top shape. You know what I mean? He was able to weather that storm and shake it off and finish that fight. Grindhard Sports Nation, what it do, homie? How you feeling? So, again, man, Dad feeling like this one of the biggest. He said, well, he feel like this is the biggest fight in boxing. You get what I'm saying? So, he ain't necessarily feeling like it got to marinate. You know, Leonard ELLERBE is feeling like it's not the time right now. Like, and I get it to some degree, but we as fans, we ready to see these fights sooner than later. So anytime they present themselves is when I want to see them, right? You get what I'm saying? I'm always with seeing the best fight the best. Keeping boxing matches fights and a whole nother ball game. And Regis coming to fight, right? D1 he's on it. Devin goes for the belt so he can stay relevant. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, and you know what? You know why I feel like in his case, and that's a good point that you made. You know why I feel like in his case it makes sense and it's smart because it's good for, I guess, like marketing, right? And visibility, right? It's hard to ignore the guy with all the hardware. And I think, you know, the fact that, you know, people feel like he ain't the biggest ticket seller, right? And that's not me taking a shot at him. That's where people be wanting to go with it, right? I think it was smart for him to choose another way to bring visibility to himself. You get what I'm saying? And this is why I just get a young man his credit, right? People will call you a hater in a heartbeat. But again, this is where my respect for him grows. I think he understood that, right? Like, people know what it is at the end of the day. You know what you bringing in, what you not. You can say what you want, but you know what you're doing. And I think a way to kind of maybe increase his visibility, like I said, and the general interest in him is him collecting all that hardware. Like, it's hard to ignore the guy with the straps. You get what I'm saying? Simple and plain. I think that was a smart move for him to chase the belts in the fashion that he done it. You get what I'm saying? And then look, after that, you defend the belts, and then you get what I'm saying, you fight Loma, and then you on the Regis, right? So you still got some straps, and then you about to fight a champion, right? So it's good momentum to build off, and I think it's smart in terms of like business and moving for his career. That's why I tell you, him and his pops, they ain't no dummies, man. They know what they doing. Get what I'm saying? You might not be the biggest ticket seller, but what is one way you can kind of market yourself and bring more visibility? Hey, man, let's go. It created an opportunity where he was able to collect them straps, and that's what my respect for him grows is. That's a smart move, man. Remember the Loma fight when Devin couldn't knock him out and he lost his patience? No, I don't remember when he couldn't knock him out and lost his patience. I never looked at the fight like that because he's not a knockout artist. So he couldn't have been going in there expecting to knock him out. He could have wanted to, but nah, I never looked at it like that. Alden, what's good with it, my bro? How you feeling? So hands down, Tank the face of boxing. Only two main fighters people want to see lose the most is Tank and Crawford. Tank numbers prove he's the face. I feel that. What I was saying with it is, to me, is, you know, I feel like it can be more than one face, right? I feel like it could be more than one face. And I feel like in this case, you got a guy like Canelo Alvarez. That's one of the bigger guys, right? Not heavyweight, but super middleweight, 68. You know what I mean? One of the bigger guys, you get what I'm saying? And you bring a lot of money in, a lot of revenue for the sport. And then when you look at Tank Davis, 135 pounds, he put asses in seats, man. His numbers, you know, continue to do what they do. And, you know, he's continue to sell out arenas despite who he fighting. So I think that just shows tremendous drawing power for a smaller guy. So, you know, a case could be made for both of them. That's why I say I have no problem with people saying this is more than one face to the sport. And, you know, you got Canelo for some of the bigger guys, you know what I mean? Not the heavyweights, of course, but then you got Tank for the smaller guys. And he really doing his thing. You get what I'm saying? He doing his thing. John Boy Belton, what's good with it? Fans understand it's not about belts anymore with Tank. It's never been about that with him. He's a cash flow fighter. It's true indeed. That is true. It's true. The top draw needs marketable opponents. Some champions are not marketable. Networks need good content. Not sometimes good content. Yeah, nah, I get that. You always got to consider that stuff. And I think when it pertains to Tank Davis, that makes a lot of sense, bro. You get what I'm saying? Those are things you have to consider with how I think he goes about selecting fights. I don't think it's necessarily about ducking people either. You get what I'm saying? I think it is about trying to put up numbers and be a part of lucrative fights and things like that. But I always feel like the most lucrative fights are going to be the ones that we truly want to see. But it still remains to be seen, but we're going to find out. Definitely good for Devin, right? His dad went to Regis fight, and based on that, I think he thinks he can box a lot better than old boy, right? His easiest route to the belt. You get what I'm saying? It's all about scouting and just being smart. He's not scary or nothing. It's strategic. You get what I'm saying? That's what boxing is. It's a thinking man's game. You go see this guy, you know he dangerous, and on top of that, Dev said, you know, the best fighter at 140 is Regis. Another one, smart play on Dev. Build your opponent up, not tear him down. So when you build him up and beat his ass, people got to give you credit. They can't say you sat up here and trashed him. You giving him his just due and his credit for being the best fighter at that weight class, and you going after him. It's smart, man. Smart and strategic. That's why I say the young man and his pops are smart, bro. Money did they get the gate for this Canelo Charlo fight? I don't know if I heard gate numbers yet. Oh, no. Yes, I did. Hold on. Give me a second. Then I got you, Brody. Give me a second. I got it. I think somebody sent me that info in my DM. Give me a second, Brody. I think I got that for you. Captain America Adventures is the funniest thing. That's wild. Nah, that's funny, bro. Nah, that's funny, bro. That I wouldn't even be surprised if damn Big Dog Willie made that up, bro. Captain America and the Avengers. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny because it's so harmless and it's not really like a true diss. It's funny, bro. It's funny. Big Dog Willie just spoke my bro up, man. He said, salute to the Haney coat. May the cat be with you, man. Salute to my guy. How you feeling, Brody, on this?
And we ain't never got a box again. Well,
right.
well, I already been getting these bet, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Boxing always been Mexican face. Yeah, facts. It's true. And that's why, and you see what I'm saying, D1, why I say it could be two. It really can be two. And that's no slight of shade to nobody. Them dudes both doing their things respectfully. Come on, man. Man, bro. It's like it won't load my message up. I'm trying to find an answer for you, bro, because you just had Devin T at 140. It will happen. I can't wait to see that Ashley's corner. What's good, Cuzzo? How you feeling, man? Hope you feeling well over there. You know that little goofy guy be using people's names and trolling accounts. Just got blocked like 6 times on Upper Echelon channel. Damn. Wow. That's crazy. No Smoke TV. What it do, family? Gertz, what's good, my bro? How you feeling? What my bro Quay said. What he said. Mike said Dad got a lot of confidence in himself. Nothing wrong with that, but he knows who to stay away from. And I think it's very interesting that also the things that make a case for me that Tank is somewhat of a face of the sport of boxing, because you got top dogs, and when I say top dogs, you got the Shakurs and the Devin Haneys of the world, both echoing the same exact sentiment that the biggest fight in boxing, they feel like it's them fighting Tank Davis. And I'm not here to argue who's the bigger fight. I don't even care. I think they're both meaningful fights. I think they can both happen, and I hope that they do. And I like to hear that young Dev is thinking like that, and he considering that, and he feel like, you know, he's willing to work with whoever to make fights. That's what he's been doing, and he has done that in the past to an extent, so you can't say he hasn't, right? So that door seems like it's still open for that fight to be made. And again, this is coming from an optimistic guy. You get what I'm saying? I always feel like these fights can happen because I can't come up with no creative reasons why they should. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not about to. You know what I mean? Captain America. Now that's funny. That's okay. Dad will have one last laugh. That is funny, bro. That's funny. A little funny. Midnight, you gotta admit, that's a little funny, bro. That's a little funny. But yeah, man, Dev ride with a ton of confidence. Like, I think he's very strategic in there. He's smart. And again, you know, that's how he got to the point that he's at. And I thought it was, again, it was a good point that Canelo made about the belts. And that's why I felt like that could have been a potential reason and play for going that route, as well as just wanting to be great and snatch up all the belts. You've seen the opportunity, you went after it. And again, I think for a guy that ain't the biggest draw or ticket seller, right? To add that to his name and his legacy, add that to his repertoire, his resume. You get what I'm saying? Undisputed, bring more visibility and be able to market that a little bit more. You get what I'm saying? You got them belts. And like I said, it's simply put, it's hard to ignore the guy with all the hardware. And that's why I felt like that was a good move on their behalf. So salute to him, man. And now he following this up with a title opportunity at 140 against Regis, who I think is going to be very focused and dialed in, might I add. And I think both guys going to be locked in. It's going to make for an interesting fight. I don't think it's going to be easy the way some people feel. I think it's going to be very interesting. You know what I mean? It's going to be an interesting fight, man. And again, prayers to the baby girl, Cuzzo. I hope she's doing well over there for real, man. Hope all is well over that end. I mean, yeah, big dog fight. He said, Mike Biggs boxing, my brother. What's good with it, Mike Biggs? So, man, so look. Oh, and to who was that? Alden asked me what the gate was, right? BVO boxing, what it do, homie? Alden, I think that was Alden. If you still in here, Brody, again, remember the pay-per-view buys is reported to be like 670K to 700, 650 to 700K, something like that, right? And they saying the gate was a $20+ million gate, bro. So the gate for Charlo and Canelo is supposed to be reported, you know, $20+ million. So see what I'm saying? So again, I'm not here to try to compare who's more of a face out of him and Tank. I'm just here to make the case that they both respectfully do their things in their own right. And they're putting asses in seats and people genuinely show up to see them fight. I'm not even talking about pay-per-view buys. I'm past that. That's like icing on the cake. But the fact that you can genuinely bring people out every time to see you and fill up wherever you fighting at is a great thing for the sport of boxing. And then when you got a guy as small as Tank able to do it, and then you get what I'm saying? You got Canelo doing it. I appreciate it on both ends. Keep doing your thing and keep bringing more eyes to the sport as Tank continues to grow his profile. You get what I'm saying? He bring more eyes to the sport. Same for Canelo. So it's always good. It's always the overall picture for me. I really don't care about pitting them up against each other in that way. I just know at the end of the day, for a guy that's 5'5.5" at 135 pounds, he's sure garner a ton of attention, bro. And it's very consistent. So you just got to respect it. And Canelo, we got a whole country behind it. We know the ropes with him. He bringing them people out. And especially if it's somebody that we want to see him fight, they're going to be there. So you get what I'm saying? I think the numbers him and Charlo just did can be bad. A $20+ million gate was bad about that. You get what I'm trying to say? That's crazy. So that's good. I'm not here to shit on boxing. I just want to see it thrive. And when you hear that, guys are able to bring in gates with numbers like that, it's good. It's good for the whole sport, the overall sport. Salute to you, cuz you already know. BBO was good, bro. It's never exact number. It's always a guesstimate. You know how I be. You know how I be, Gertz. I know it's a little annoying, but I think for obvious reasons, you get what I'm saying, that we kind of know, you know what I mean? But I guess, nobody really want to let their numbers be known. But I feel like if it's anywhere in that ballpark, that's a good thing, right? I think for competition purposes or whatever the case, who knows, right? It's a bunch of little weird stuff, but at the end of the day, man, I just hope that they're accurate, and you get what I'm saying, Gertz. I hope they're accurate, and it just for me, like again, a lot of people have they take a position where they like one network more than the other. Like I don't have that battle. I don't fight that war. That's not my fight to fight. You get what I'm saying? I just like to speak on seeing the sport do well. And when I hear good numbers, I like it. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter on what side it's on for me. I just want to see the sport win. You know what I mean? And when you got guys able to bring in big numbers like that, they're showing you that people genuinely share an interest in wanting to see people fight. So that's always good, man. But young Dev, like I said, he feel like his biggest fight is the biggest fight in boxing is him and Tank. And Shakur feels the same exact way. In fact, Shakur went as far as to say him and Tank Davis will be the Super Bowl of boxing. So I think that speaks again to the drawing power and to the respect that people have for Tank Davis. They know what kind of draw he is and what fighting him kind of brings to the table. You get what I'm saying? And I think, it's easy to be aware of that, but it's good that both guys are aware of that. And I think it's pretty funny that, what I mean, that's what they got in common. No matter how they feel about each other, they feel like their biggest fight is one guy. You get what I'm saying? Which they feel like is the absolute biggest fight in boxing. So I like his energy. I like the fact that what he spoke on, and I'm gonna only hold him to the things that he said, right? He just saying, look, he willing to make the biggest and best fights possible. He willing to work with other people. He's shown that in the past. So while working here, working there, so he has shown that. So I think when you're in the position that Devin is in, and you've shown and have the power to be able to work with different people, I think you leave that door open for you to be able to, fight any of these guys if you can line it up, right? If you can make the business line up, right? So that's where I'm at with it, man. I'm not here to knock Dev for nothing he said. And he say nothing wrong. And I just like what he was saying right there. Now, I mean, that's what he's aware that's the fight people want. And I like the fact that Leonard ELLERBE making it, he let it marinate. It might not be time. Dev like, man, look, hey, I'm ready to make it happen whenever I can. So I hope that's really the energy. And I hope, at some point they do, reach out to each other, the both respective teams, and really get the ball rolling, because that's a fight that people gonna always want to see. I agree with Devin. They are the biggest fight, and I ain't here to argue. BN Boxing News, what's good, my bro? And I ain't here to argue because I'm right with you. Because what I'm gonna say is, who it would be no doubt a meaningful fight, a big fight, right? You get what I'm saying? And when SHAKUR say they a big fight, I think he right about that too. I just think what we hearing is these fights need to happen. You know what I mean? Especially when you got guys both feeling like, or all feeling like they're lucrative big fights. They all feel like they're big fights to a certain degree, right? So that's why we need to see them. You know what I mean? And I think people will truly get behind them for real. Big Dog Willie back in the super chat. So salute to Captain America and the Defenders Cat.
And we ain't never got a box again. Well. I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just do.
Salute to Big Dog Willie, man. Stan Jones of basketball. What's good, family? How you feeling? Damn, it is. Yeah, it's weird, man. Well, I hate a network, right? I just want to see good fights. And again, you see how I deliver to Canelo. I'm very like even with it. Like I just want to see boxing win. So when I don't care who's putting up big gates, I just like to hear it. And the more fighters that are a part of that is good for the sport. Is showing real interest, and we got some real stars, and you know we really supporting the product that's out there, man. I want to see all the networks win. I want to see the fighters get their just doing, and all these big fights get made. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain: we always talking boxing, and we always paying for it. You get what I'm saying? We always talking boxing, and we always paying for it. So you know what I mean. Captain Back, did you come up with that? Yeah. Yo, that Big Dog Willie is a damn menace, man. I'm telling you. Man, but man. So yeah, this dude is a shout out. He's shout out. Big Dose, what it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? What's good with it? And let me play it again for anybody that didn't catch it, man. So I can know what we was talking about.
Just
any talks?
Yeah, like you know, just because after both of their fights, their schedules were cleared, and they're the two top lightweights.
But it don't happen.
Yeah.
Because the fans don't understand, you know, and I get frustrated.
D-Free, what's good, bro?
I mean,
it don't work like that. And as I would say, some of those fights aren't ready at the moment. That's the best way to put it. Some of those fights aren't ready at the moment, and I think you can read between the lines why. Tank Davis is like, he just generated, him and Ryan Garcia coming off of this fight, they generated more money than the entire lightweight and junior welterweight division with everybody combined in their careers. You know what I mean? It's just like, so you have to kind of put things in perspective. And yeah, at the end of the day, people, this is prize fighting. You just ain't getting ready to go. You like, and one thing I do know, Tank Davis is not going to be taking no pay cut to do anything. He's the boss. So again, is that all those guys are terrific fighters. I ain't got to call their names. They all are terrific fighters. They fight their behind off, but at the end of the day, Tank's that dude.
Once this, and then just about Tank for a minute. When Leonard ELLERBE always talks about the business, the business has to make sense. The business has to make sense. If it's inevitably a scenario like Bud encountered with Spence, like, you got to sign with us to get the fight, kind of thing. Will you go for that in the future? Are you not feeling that, or what do you think?
I mean, I don't want you to be speaking for them. They're trying to, you know.
Right.
But I'm willing to do what it takes to make the biggest fights happen. I've proven that. I've signed with, you know, other networks and promoters to make the fights happen. So we just got to see it. We got to see what type of position that I'm in if they were to offer a fight. You know, at times, you know, I could do that. Sometimes I couldn't do that. I could, you know, as far as, you know, jumping over, whatever. But I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make the biggest fights happen. And yeah.
I wonder if that's becoming the biggest fight in boxing.
I think so.
Anybody who he wants to fight, because he's that big. And it don't have to be for a belt. It don't have to and I can say that. I mean, he's that guy. He's that guy. But you know, I know firsthand, you know, and this is from his mouth, that you know, he's gonna get the guys that they say that they want. He's gonna get those guys. It's just a matter of time. Cause Tank Davis ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere. He's looking. He's looking to do what he's got to go do. Now, timeline wise, is that everything don't happen according to everybody else's plan, because just how the business, you know, how the business goes. And Tank can speak for himself. I'm not speaking for him, but I'm just saying that
that's important.
You know,
that he said he's not speaking for Tank.
He wants if the fans say that guy is the guy, he gonna get that guy. It just might not be when they say he's gonna dictate the terms on how that goes along.
Was there?
And there you have it. So that's what it is, man. Again, BN Boxing News. Appreciate the love, homie. And that super chat said correction. Devin and Tank is ready. Shakur fight not. Yeah, I mean, I think BN. I think why I would agree with that, right? And it has nothing to do with their skill or talent why the fight wouldn't be ready, right? But I feel like it might be a little easier to make it with Devin at this current point. And why I feel like that, because of his flexibility and willingness to work with other people, whereas his situation is far different from Shakur's. And I see Midnight saying Dev will sign with anyone, Shakur and the other. Again, I give you credit for that. I've seen him. He has worked with other people, but their situations are different. So I don't, you know, it's hard to compare them in that manner. Like one of them is signed to who he signed to. One guy, not so much. He's been able to maneuver and bounce around a little bit, and he's been willing to do so. So my thing is, will he be willing to do that to make a Tank fight happen? But you heard what he said. At the end of the day, he's just willing to do what it takes to make the big fights. And that's all you can ask for him to do. And you could take it out his own mouth. So we'll see what happens here. But we all know what's up next. You know, we got to take care of Regis. We got to see what's next for Tank. They say it's going to be something big, something meaningful. So we just got to wait and see. But I'm going to always be on board with seeing this fight whenever it presents itself realistically to them as fighters. And I'm going to always be in support of it. I want to see it. Whenever it can happen is when I want to see it.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well, I already been getting these bets, but now it's time for you to get your just due.
Agree with that in that regard. BN, like I think that's what would make it easier for Devin. You get what I'm saying? I think the flexibility, because the situation is different, right? You know what I mean? But again, I don't know if y'all heard. Like I also like look. I'll play something else too while we here. I should have something else in here. Give me a second. Y'all smash the like button for your boy too. Get that man a shield. As we was talking about, they asked Devin a question, he answered it. Yeah, right. I like it. I like the fact they asked Shakur. I can see why Tank not fighting him after what Bob said. But see, again, Bob said a lot, though. Yeah, Big Dose, I think that's what makes it easier, bro. I'm just a real dude. I think that's what it make it easier. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, the thing is, Bob has said a number of different things, but what I'm looking for when he speak about a Tank fight, potentially if he's as pertaining to Shakur, I want to hear consistency in the things he say. I don't want to hear like a flip flop. Like 1 minute is like he get frustrated when people ask about Tank, and why would I look to make a fight with him when I could make fighters with guys on my stable, this and that, right? And then he'll say things like this, what he said in this clip here. So let me pull this up. Y'all smash that like button for you, bro. If Hector was big enough. Right. I believe that too. I believe that too. I believe that too, D1. I believe that. Want to fight each other. All the promoters.
You've talked to Shakur. We've talked about this. He's a little frustrated about getting the opponents that the fans want to see him in, and he himself wants to test himself. Are we going to get the same issue with potential fights down the road with, you know, maybe a Ryan Garcia or a Gervonta Davis or a Devin Haney?
No, I don't think so. It's all a matter of money. And if we can come up with the appropriate money to make the fight, we'll make the fight.
You hear what he's saying?
If we can, we won't. But the idea that there's some master manipulator behind the scenes who's preventing any of these guys from fighting Shakur, it's just not true.
You see?
Well, the networks complicate things.
No, they don't.
Listen to what he's saying. He the promoter.
Like, for instance, like we want to see Tank, and obviously they're going to, want to have it on their network if Tank fights, if they think it's a big fight.
What's their network?
Showtime. Which leads me to the other question that I'm alluding to as well, but I think you're kind of alluding to it also. You've heard the same thing then, or is it, from what you're hearing, are they done?
I don't know. I think so, but I don't know. Look, the network is not a problem. It wasn't a problem when Pacquiao fought Mayweather.
I just want people to, for the people that didn't hear this, what he said in this.
It's not a problem here. The networks will work it out. Not a problem for Garcia fighting Shakur or Teofimo. The networks will work it out. No problem.
In your opinion.
You see, and I know, again, a lot of people it's going to be some pushback on that, and they're going to say, oh, well, Bob just lying. I'm not there, and I try to hold a man on their word as that particular situation is being played out. So this is one of the more current, interviews that he's spoken on, making these different fights that people keep asking about that they think can be made. Now you hear what he's saying, dude was pretty much setting the table like, well, the networks are difficult. He like, no, they're not. He like, look, and again, the reason why I played this and I could appreciate what he was saying in this, because it seemed pretty straightforward. It don't seem like some drawn out, thought up, explanation that he's giving. He just being straightforward. Hey, look, if we can get it's about money. If we can get the appropriate money for these fights, then we can make them. If not, then, we obviously can't make the fights. I was saying this earlier. So a lot of people feel like he's in the way, and he's saying it out of his mouth. You don't have to take him for his word, but I'm trying to hold him to his word in this particular situation. He's saying there's no master manipulator stopping people from fighting Shakur. And if you see, and if you just listening to what he's saying, when he first started talking, he said it's about money, right? If you've seen the most recent situation with Frank Martin and Shakur, what just happened? What just happened? Tell me it don't make sense. I don't know what people get out of these different interviews. Like, I know he's not always consistent with what he's saying, but I try to find consistency with other situations and what he's saying. So when he say, hey, man, look, it's about money. It's about getting the appropriate money to pay these guys. And just think about it. It's validity to that when you just seen Shakur and Frank Martin situation just play out, because Frank Martin was like, I need a little more. So at the end of the day, that it's valid it's some validity to what he's saying. It makes sense. It'd be about money at the end of the day. A lot of people will blame networks and different things, and I'm not saying those don't be potential roadblocks as well, but when it's all said and done, when people got the money that they asking for, they fight. And that's what he's saying. So a lot of people will try to get so much other stuff out of it. Oh, he just lying. Listen to what he's saying. Where's the lie? It's about money. But and that's his issue. That's his issue because of consistency. And you heard me speak on it, right? I said that. I said sometimes he be flip-flopping. That's my only issue with him. I need more consistency in the things he say, not the flip-flopping. Like 1 minute when they asked you about Tank, you got annoyed. Then you also went and said, why would you look to make a fight with him? You get what I'm saying? If you got fighters on your stable that you can make the fights with, but then you'll turn around here and you like, look, all these fights are possible. We can get the money for these guys. You get what I'm saying? There's no master manipulator stopping people from fighting. So I think there's some truth to that. You get what I'm saying? Some truth to that. And when he first started talking, he said it's about money. Look what just happened. The most recent fight with Shakur fell out because of what? One guy just needed a little more, and I ain't mad at him for it. But that's what makes what Bob Arum say valid in this instance, right? But whether or not he's going to be on board like he say he is with making these fights remain to be seen, because that's where the inconsistency lies, right? So I think it's some validity to the stuff he's saying, and then I think some of the stuff you got to look at it and be like, well, we just got to wait and see if you're going to stand on that. And that's where I'm at with it, right? Just got to wait and see if he's going to stand on what he's saying. Like, we want to see these fights be made because you just sat up here and said they can't be made if you can get this money. And I don't see why the money can't be, situated for these guys to get in that ring, man. I don't. And I'm hopeful that we get to see these fights moving forward. I understand what he means though. Right. I get what you're saying. It's like some of it. That's why I say, you know, I'm the fairest guy on here, man. I could give him credit for the stuff I feel like is solid, and then I know where the inconsistency lies with what he's saying. And then when he's talking about just making all the fights, he make it sound so easy, like all the networks will work it out. You get what I'm saying? So you're making me feel like these fights can be made. So that's why when they try to make excuses for why they can't be made, I'm not trying to hear it. You get what I'm saying? Scoring Tank will be hard to make. Yeah, that's what I said. He does. I hope everybody hear me. That I say he need to be more consistent, like Cuzzo was saying, with the stuff that he said, and people can, you know, hold them to it. You know what I'm saying? People will be able to take him at his word more. Key Alexandra, salute to the queen. How you feeling today? I know Bob ain't willing to pay these fighters what they're worth. Right. And again, it's all like he said. I think it's all about being. That's why I say it's still true to it. He's saying like, yo, we can get the appropriate money for these fighters because that's what it's really all about. Then we can make these fights, right? So that's what makes me optimistic that they can happen. You get what I'm saying? They really need to pay Tank though. No, no. Right, cuz like they want Shakur, but it's not willing to split the pay-per-views with Top Rank. And we know that's a big part of it. Could be a potential roadblock, bro. You know what I'm saying? Could be. I would be crazy not to want a piece of Tank Davis' new money. Yeah, true. Also, Bob has his mind still relatively sharp. Yeah, true. Face that Saudi money, so he changing up his tone. They're about to make a killing with Usyk and Fury. Yeah, man. You get what I'm saying, right? So I'm with you. Oh, y'all get me. CD, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling? So look, I'm right with y'all. Like, he need more consistency, especially as it pertains to him making the fights with the other guys, right? But when he spoke about, you know, why fights potentially don't happen, I think there's truth there. And it's simply put, like he said, it's about money. We all could agree that. And that's why I pointed to the most recent situation. It fell out because of money at the end of the day. It was nothing else. Everything else was cool. He said it out his own mouth. Everything else was cool but the money. You get what I'm saying? So that is where Bob Arum is solid at and what he's saying now. He made it sound relatively easy that these fights can be made because there's nothing stopping it. Like, as he put it in his own words, there's no master manipulator. So we just want to see these fights come to fruition if you're saying this. That's all. You know what I mean? Upper echelon, what's good with it, my bro? How you feeling? Tio will do it without Bob. You know he will, right? If he got to. You know he will if he got to. Up, he'd be like, one way, with you or without you, I'll make this fight, especially if he got a bag coming forward, man. Tio be on it. Let's see what else he was saying.
Shakur and Tank, is that a huge fight in your opinion, knowing how boxing is?
It's a big fight, but I don't know how huge it is, but it's a big fight.
With Showtime seemingly...
Just to pause in real quick. You see, just a straightforward answer. Hey, look, is Shakur and Tank a big fight? Yeah, I think it's a big fight. How big? I don't know. And that's an honest answer. You don't know how big, but you assume it would be a pretty big fight, right? A meaningful fight, right? It could it be bigger later on? Possibly. Who knows? But look, he at 35 now. He ain't gonna be at 35 later on, right? So you would assume. So again, it's all about, you know, striking while the iron hot and taking advantage of the moment, man, or the opportunities that present themselves. And make no mistake about it, I just don't think it's nobody in boxing that wouldn't want to see them two fight. Don't matter who you go for, don't matter who you think gonna win. That's not even important. The important thing is we get a fight that we need, that we deserve as boxing fans and for our money. And we pretty much feel like all of us that we'll get our money's worth if these two kings mixed it up. So look, anytime these fights can be made, this is when I want to see them. I can't say I can work out the business. I wish I could snap my finger and get all these fights, but we just got to wait and see how the pieces on the chessboard move, man, and consider the business side of things. And if people ain't been able to line their pockets, you know, properly in these situations, we probably not going to see some of these fights. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just optimistic that we can, and let's just see if we will. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. It's pay-per-view. Right. I definitely feel like it. DK, what's good with it, bro? I'm part of Shakur's team. Why did Shakur call Martin? It's going real hard on Martin. Like, the man don't get to decide his worth. Martin it's his money. I think what it is, DK, is, and now look, I'm not here to justify the name calling, right? The only thing I can draw up why he could have potentially had that energy again, I think it kind of, people realized he said it, but it kind of still went over people's heads. Although that seems like it's the case, right? What you're saying, but for him to DM him, like you say, DM him, and he breaking down the numbers, and you still asking for half. You get what I'm saying? I think that's why the energy was like that, because you telling people that never happened. And he like, bro, I got DMs to show that you saying they're asking for half. Now he never released them, but it's one of them situations where you could choose to believe it or not believe it. But that's the only reason I could think that he went a little extra hard. You know what I'm saying? Because of that one situation, DMing him, you basically calling him a liar, saying you didn't say that. And he like, bro, I got DMs saying I explained the numbers to you, I told you what it was, and you still asked for half. That's the only thing I could think is why he'd be a little extra, like, ticked off at it. You know what I mean? Pissed off at it, or whatever you want to call it. But I ain't justifying it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Salute to the queens in the chat. Even though we had a great year of boxing, I hate the state of boxing right now, and if Showtime's really getting out of boxing, it's gonna get worse unless Fox comes back. I mean, it all depends. I'm very open, right? I'm very open to change and things still being able to succeed through the change, right? And I just think it's like, all right, HBO went, right? Did boxing leave? Did boxing go anywhere after HBO went, right? And I get what you're saying, but I think it's a comfortability that I think we've had with it over the years, that we've had it be on Showtime, right? We're just comfortable in that regard, right? It'll be an adjustment period, right, for sure. But I think ultimately, as long as it's on a platform that we as individuals, as boxing fans and supporters can access, you know what I mean, without jumping through hoops, I think it'll still be there. You get what I'm saying? HBO went, boxing ain't go nowhere with it. So it's like Showtime go, boxing ain't going nowhere with it, because the boxer's still going to be here. You get what I'm saying? So I think they'll work it out. Like I was hearing KO, and salute to KO. I was hearing them break down, you know, some of the numbers for the Amazon Prime, like, and how many, you know, how much it's worth. And, you know, it's a lot of people that got it. So maybe that could work. You know what I mean? That very well could work. Now, I'm not as versed in that area to be able to break it down, but I'm open to it when you hear how much they worth and how many people have access to Amazon Prime. So it's just something to think about, right? Because that's a move they was talking about making. So we'll see. We'll see, man. I didn't go nowhere but just part of it, because we had Showtime and Fox right there, ready to pick up the pieces. Right. I get you. And maybe in this case, bro, and I'm optimistic, Big Dose. So you always got to understand that's where my mind be at. That's why my commentary is the way I'm optimistic. Maybe this could be the case for Amazon Prime, right? Maybe they there to essentially somewhat pick up the pieces if they could, right? And I'm hopeful of that. I just want to see boxing continue to do what it's doing, because this is an odd time for this to happen, right? For Showtime to be dipping up out of boxing, right? When we pretty much look like we've had one of the best years that we've all had in a long ass time in boxing. So to see, you get what I'm saying, to kind of see Showtime slip is like, damn, you feel like a piece of boxing going with it. So I get you. I mean, the comfortability. I love the Showtime presentation, their platform. I get it, man. We was used to what we used to. Daryl Alexander, salute, fam. How you feeling? Boxing has to move on with the times, right? Cable was just about obsolete. It's all about apps. Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's true. And streaming, man. I think with the streaming of fights, a lot of boxers are going to have to lower what they're asking for. Or they just going to have to find another way, Big Dose, to compensate to get the fighters what they're asking for. You get what I'm saying? Bob is bold for that loan, Shakur. Oh, yeah, without consequence, right? Yeah, man. And just, you get what I'm saying? Just go. He gonna go take an easier fight with Kambosos, I believe, in a stadium fight, from what I was hearing. Let's see if that comes to fruition. But let's play the rest of this, and salute to everybody in the building, man.
Coming to an end, I asked Bob, hey, would a fight between you and Tank now be a lot easier? And he'd be like, well, yeah, you know, it's us in Matchroom DAZN, and Shakur's with us with ESPN. We have the money.
Right, Big Dose.
Make that fight. Coming into this now, are you confident that in the next year or so you could get that Tank fight?
Like I said, it's all on him. He's the pay-per-view superstar. He putting all the asses in the seats on his end. I put the asses in seats on my end too. So let's see. Let's find out. Whenever he make that call, I'll be ready.
How do you guys match up? Just me just thinking about it. Like, I know you have a lot of natural advantages over him, but how would you guys match up? Because I know a big thing with Tank is his power, and he has sneaky ring IQ as well.
Shakur don't be taking that beat.
I think it'll be a chess match. I think it'll be a boxing match. People talk about his power. His power is great. You can clearly tell that he's cracking. But a lot of them times he like catching fighters coming in. So we'll have to see. I'm great at my distance. I'm great at controlling the distance. So we'll see.
And he hasn't faced really a lot of southpaws consistently as well. So I know when a southpaw faces southpaw, you personally, how
trying to bait him to slight Tank, but he don't do it.
How soon do you see yourself moving up to 140? Because we're seeing
it seemed like a little bit.
140, Ryan now at 140, Regis is at 140, Devin's trying out 140. It's looking like all the guys at 135 are now at 140, and that's going to become the big fight money division.
I hear it, but
that's a good move, Upper. That's good.
Like I said, when I came to 135, when they say 135 was the best division in boxing, now that I'm here, we talking about 140. I'm cool off that. I'm gonna handle my business at 135, and I'm gonna keep conquering every weight class that I go to. So, honestly speaking, I can't sit there and talk about the 140 division.
DK was good with it, bro. He said Shakur sound friendly.
I would imagine you're thinking though. Every
Mr. Improv was good, bro. How you feeling? Appreciate you stopping through. Aisha, salute, Queen. How you feeling today? Appreciate you stopping through. What's good,
They
Improv?
did say 135 was the best division in boxing when I got here. I get here, now we here.
Yeah, man. I ain't mad at that, Will. It's very possible, bro. It's always possible. Very possible.
135 still is the best division in boxing. I think that
I just hope as boxing fight fans we
best
get to
fighters
see
is
it.
at 135 when it come down to it.
Who are those two? You and who else?
Tank.
Not Devin, if he comes back down.
Hear what he said.
Who else?
Tank.
Not Devin, if he comes back down.
I mean, Tank is clearly a better fighter than him.
Given that I spoke to Oscar, he said he would like to stage Teo versus Ryan Super Bowl weekend. Have you heard anything from that? What do you think about that, and is that possible?
I think that's a great idea. And Oscar,
but he's supposed to
I consider a good friend.
Say the same
you know, I promoted him for so many years. And so, you know, I think that hopefully that fight can come together.
Man, me too, bro.
Will that be Teo's next fight?
Yes.
Against Ryan.
Hopefully against Ryan. I can't guarantee that.
You heard him.
But that's what Teo was looking at.
Because Ryan has a fight coming up November, and then we're headed into that. You're getting me excited now.
Yeah, that's true.
And this was from earlier for anybody that
yes,
didn't catch
yes,
it.
that's what we need, those types of fights. Bob, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's a blockbuster fight as well. Here with Bob Arum.
You get what I'm saying? You get in his words, like, and again, we know he lacks consistency in his message. So we don't hang on to every word he say, but we just let certain things play out. And one thing that I found to be solid in what he said is why fights, you know, will be holding fights up more so than anything. He even shot down that it's not networks as much as it's people wanting a certain money. And if they're not able to get that money, then these fights just don't happen. And that's I think that he started out very honest with that. The only place where the inconsistency comes in is how easy he makes it seem that these fights can happen. Now, we know it can be that easy, but we know it won't be that easy. You get what I'm saying? It could all be that easy, but it's not. You know what I mean? Ricky Williams, my bro, what's good with it, Rick? How you feeling? The voice is in the building. 35 was better than 40. When it was Tank, Devin, Cora, all in there, right? You're not fighting till the money is right. Yo, no, but look, that's what we saying, Rick. That's where we at. That's what Bob Arum is pretty much saying. That's what Leonard ELLERBE was saying. You get what I'm saying? That's where the consistency lies and what they were speaking on. That part of it, Rick, when they spoke on the money. If we can get the appropriate money for these guys, then the fights can be made. If we can't, then of course they just won't. And that's very honest and straightforward. Like, that's not him capping. People are like, he's capping. No, you gotta. I know he hasn't been very 100% consistent when he delivers a message, but you still got to be able to pick and poke and identify when he's being straightforward. And with those answers, that's as straightforward as you can get. You get what I'm saying? And he even shot down the notion that the networks be stopping the fights. He like, man, the networks will work it out. The main issue is the money, pretty much, and getting these guys the money that they want. And as long as you can get guys their money, the fights are going to be made. And why it makes perfect sense, because we just seen Frank Martin and Shakur not happen because he was cool with everything but the money. So that is valid what Bob Arum is saying. If that man would have got the money that he was asking for, it would have been a fight. And that has nothing to do with ducking. That has something to do with business and making sure his ducks is in a row. He wanted to make sure he was taken care of for that fight, and he felt like he wanted a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with that. That's the business side of it. But ultimately, what Bob Arum is saying, when he can't get guys the appropriate money, fights don't happen. And you just seen that with that situation. That's all that is. Salute to my queen, my baby girl, Miss Just Do. Yeah, smash the like button for you, bro, if y'all haven't, man. Saying before we got to 35. No. Yeah, I know that's the way you thought he was saying it, Teach, but he ain't saying, he's saying y'all was telling me 35 was the best division when I got here. Not saying because I'm here, you telling me 135 is the best. He's saying, you know, before, I know it sounded like that. I don't think he meant it that way. Not saying that when I got here, y'all just now saying 135. He's like, y'all, this is what y'all been saying. He's like, now that I'm here, y'all talking about 140. You like, what? Like, nah, I still think 135 is the best. You get what I'm saying? He not saying it's the best just because he's here. You know what I'm saying? And you heard him say who the best two fighters is. He gonna say himself, of course, but he gave credit to the bad man that Tank Davis is. And these fighters be trying to get a Floyd bag. You know how it go. You know how I go, but if they're not gonna put in that Floyd work, they're not gonna get them bags. You know, very few will. You get what I'm saying? Shakur would definitely be 10 because Shakur will move the whole fight. Shakur will make the fight boring like Charlo versus Canelo. I tell you what, it'd be smart for him to box and move. I tell you what, and don't be on no front foot all night with Tank Davis. That's just me being real about boxing. I just don't think that's smart for anybody fighting Tank to be in his wheelhouse all night. Don't do that. The man land what 47-point-something% of his power shots. And you mean to tell me you're gonna be right in his wheelhouse where you can land them and think you ain't gonna end up on the end of a gnat? Yeah, good luck with that. I wouldn't recommend it. It was the best when it had Tio, Loma, Ryan, Devin, and Tank. I feel you, Marquay, man. Look, I ain't, your boy just don't argue. You just got a solid point. It was a hell of a division then. I think it still is now, right? I really don't like the comparisons is, I don't know. I really don't care for it. I just know it was when you just mentioned them names, it was great then. I feel like it's solid now. It's still a fire division. You get what I'm saying? Now, people could, argue about which one was better. But for me, I just know both of them got some killers in it, man. Some good fighters. My Bob didn't get Martin a little more money. Now, again, I can't answer that with a fact, DK, but, I'm going to acknowledge you because you are my bro in the chat and tell you what I think. The only thing I can think as to why he didn't give him more money because of the initial agreement that everything was cool, money and all. And he said he gave him everything he asked for. That's to Bob's. That's what he said out his mouth and his side. He said he gave him everything he asked for, even the money. He said initially he thought what he was asking for was too much then, but he was like, all right, well, we still did it. And then he said he asked for additional money. That's the only reason I think it didn't happen. That's just in my opinion. You get what I'm saying? Do I think he should have got the extra money? Yes. Yes, I do, because I wanted to see that fight. So I'm all for it. I think Frank Martin should have got everything he was asking for. It's difficult for me to gauge whether Bob's inconsistency is, and McQueen, my bro, the professors in the building, is attributed to the man himself, or if it's a mere reflection of how fickle the industry. There are a lot of moving parts. That's why I say with him, you got to really listen to him and you got to pick and poke. Some people going to just write off everything he said. But for me, I'm going to do my best to try to make sense out of what I see is consistent versus inconsistent. And like I said, what makes sense versus was, kind of up in the air. And what I heard there is, fights, when we're able to get the money, fights going to happen. If not, they're not. You get what I'm saying? And he even saying the networks ain't as much as a holdup as much as it is the money. That's what I got from that. You get what I'm saying? And where I see the inconsistency or the kind of up in the air where you can debate it is how easy and simple he made it seem that these fights can just be made and worked out, right? And we know it can all be that easy, but we know it won't. So that's why, I kind of, some of the stuff I'm rocking with it. Then some of it, I'm like, Shaquille O'Gotti, Felici boxing, he's supposed to be able to stand in there with 19 he hit like Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, he should be able to stand in there. Who is she? She said, who's Shaquille Gotti? Floyd was able to stand in there with the punches and not get hit. Is your question? He was better than Floyd. Yeah. Floyd was that guy. I'm just saying, standing in, I don't think you should do it, but with Tank, but I ain't saying it can't be done, but I wouldn't recommend that style. I wouldn't recommend giving that dude that many opportunities to land, knowing that he land at that high of a clip. You know what I mean? And what's good with it, bro? Yeah, more than likely I'll be dropping a link. What'd you say about the money? Makes perfect sense. Right. Salute to DK. You hear him? You hear him? Little greedy dude, man. For me, sometimes it's hard to trust. Bob says because he contradicts himself. That's why, if you was listening, like I alluded to that, right? We identify that he's not always consistent with what he puts out. But through the interviews and different things and seeing certain situations play out, you able to kind of hear areas where he can be consistent at where he is at, or where he being straightforward, like just giving straight up answers. And that's what I like. It was simple. It didn't sound like a bunch of made up stuff. And I liked it, man. I like this from Bob, man. Salute to my bro DK, man. Appreciate you, bro. Peace and blessings to my bro D Zoom. You already know. Y'all laugh all the time. You say this. Take lullabies. Everybody from 130 to 140. My bro said what he said now. Right, but a lot of people have the same accord in order to make a fight happen. You get what I'm saying? And it's just so much stuff going on. That's why I like to try to break stuff down as best we could and make sense of it. You know what I'm saying? 35 and 40 are both fired. Them young killers just need to start fighting each other. Facts. And I let people debate which one they feel like is more fire. I'm always in my vision, is the totality of the sport, right? Get what I'm saying? I like to see everybody doing good. I want to see all these divisions lighten up, man. Some of the smaller divisions getting better. They starting to get more quality fighters and some dogs, man, because I know that small guy, Junto Nakatani, man, he's a small guy, but I rock with him, man. He can fight. I like, it's still a lot of good fighters, big dose. Like the sport is still got, we got some talent, man. 35 got them. They're gonna always have them because it's gonna always be people at 30 that's nice, that's gonna be moving up to 35. You get what I'm saying? And vice versa. 35 people gonna be moving up to 40, and that cycle repeats itself. So it's always gonna be a ton of talent. It's always gonna be a lot to me. Most of the time, a company like Top Rank tells you what we have to spend. You can have one of the fighters ask for all the money and leaving nothing for the other fighter. Yeah, right. I get that. And again, well, if that's ultimately like the business model or the practice that the way they're going about it, I think what happens is the fights that would be a big roadblock as to why fights are not getting made. If people consistently feel like, that's what's happening. Their guy got to get the lion's share and they left with the crumbs. And dudes ain't, ain't asking to break the bank, but they want to be treated fairly and accordingly. And I'm always with that. Always with that. George's Edwin fight. Yeah, I'm out here in Jersey. Key, hey, listen, I'm going definitely I talked about it, but October, November. For me, definitely I'll ramp it up more. Like I'll start talking about it more when it becomes fight week. That's how I've been doing lately with good fights that I've been really wanting to see. If it's one of those meaningful fights, one of these young kings fighting, I'll talk about the fight throughout the week. So as they get closer to that fight, I'm definitely going to talk about it because I can't wait to see his second fight at 35 and how he's going to look against a guy that can box with good power in both hands. You get what I'm saying? And it's a solid challenge. And some people feel like he's better than Frank. I didn't say that. I feel like overall, Frank is the more skilled guy overall. But, I feel like De Los Santos still present a different level of danger that Frank Martin don't, because I think his punching power is a little bit different than Frank's. I think he's a little bit naturally heavy-handed than Frank Martin is. And he's able to box. And he used both of them hands, too. So we're going to see. He coming off some good wins, some meaningful wins. He got some momentum riding behind him. He confident. The dude showed up in Newark looking for Shakur. He's a funny guy. So I want to see it. I can't wait to see it. I think Shakur gonna make an example out of him though. And I hope he do. I hope he be a little mean in this fight too. I don't want to see him be nice to this guy. I want to see him like try to, make a statement. You say Bob is a snake oil salesman when it comes to this contradictory statement when he promising a fight or promoting. he can be a bit of that, but I think all promoters to a certain degree, right, and could have that type of degree. And I think what it is they have a product to sell, right, and a business to protect. So I think a lot of times they're going to try to say things that they think is that the fans want to hear, and sometimes the things that they'll say the things we want to hear, but they won't deliver. And that's where the the static comes in. You get what I'm saying? So I think all promoters could have a bit of that up in them. You know what I'm saying? I hope Monster keep coming up. That would be interesting. I heard him as far as that. The latest I had heard like about him, Kaz, I had heard he wanted to fight the guy Marlon Tapales, if that's his last name, Marlon. I think that's December. Damn, I got that in my DMs too. Hold on. Let me look. Hold on. I got it. December 26th in Japan. I think that's supposed to be in Japan. NUA and Tapales is supposed to be undisputed. December 26th in Japan, possibly. Salute to my bro, the plug, man. Always keeping me in the loop. So, but what he said is he wanted to fight this guy, Marlon, become undisputed, right? He said, and potentially face Robisi Ramirez as well. So, and then, if he conquered that, then he's talking about going up another weight class. So it's crazy. So if he move up again, it'll be wild. Tank will KO Monster in 2 rounds. Yeah, man. I think he'll definitely need more rounds than that, only because he don't throw the most, but he'll clean him up. I'm not picking on anybody to beat Tank. Sorry, not sorry. I think that's what happened with Haney and Shakur. Right. Well, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, dudes just need the money that they want, man. They want what they want. Just we'll be able to see Shakur versus Tank. If the plan is going to be for Core to just move all night, and we know Core's taller and longer. Tank usually is a counter puncher. I mean, I don't know, man, because I just don't know. This notion that he'll move 100% of the night, I don't know if I can say he'll do that 100%, right? Because you've seen smaller guys like Hector Garcia kind of stand his ground a little bit, right? So I don't think he would move to that effect that much, but I think he damn sure going to turn, or you're going to use them legs when necessary. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he'll make it. I don't think the fight, there's no way that we walk out of the arena being bored with watching Shakur and Tank. Me personally, I don't feel like that. I don't see it. I'm not bored when I watch him fight. For me, if neither guy. So I think that the contrasting styles will make for a very entertaining fight. To be intriguing, right? He'll be looking to utilize the ring, but at the same time, if you really watched the last few fights, he's been standing in there a little bit. So, it's whether or not he'll do it with Tank and for how much, for how long remains to be seen. But I don't know. But I don't think we get a boring fight at all. You know what I'm saying? That fight just got, a classic written all over it to me. But I could be wrong. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, focus on Devin Regis. Oh, yeah, December Shakur is right around the corner. Right. Nah, but I get you. But whenever you say it, like, I'll just let you know, we can always build on it because it's definitely a damn good fight. And I'm glad that, Dev and Regis got their situation worked out, and that fight is coming December 9th. Like, I think boxing's in a great place, and these young kings is still in the position to continue to prove themselves, man. Yeah, man, I think so because of the defensive capabilities mixed with the offense, right? I feel like the IQ will keep him in a fight like that. Him and Tank. That's why you heard what he said. It'd be like a chess match because Tank don't have to fight you to beat you. He can box you too. You know what I mean? But the thing is, he can force you to fight with him and make it a issue for you. And if you can't fight with him, you might be in some real big trouble, bro. And that's why I felt like that about anybody. That's everybody that he get in there with. If he forces a fight on you and you can't deal with what he's throwing, you're gonna be in trouble. So it's times where the moving is cool, right? Utilizing the ring is cool, but at some point you're gonna have to make him respect you. Because if he don't respect you, you're gonna be on borrowed time. You're just gonna be delaying the inevitable, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Get him just probably take 6 to 8 rounds. Listen, I can't, I never argue with y'all when y'all say Tank can knock somebody out. You know what I mean? But I'll say this, man. He going that's a KO that he'll definitely have to work for. If that's how it happened, because it's a true 50-50 fight, man. And the thing is, Tank can shut your lights out and box you. I believe in his boxing ability. You get what I'm saying? I do. Hen Dog, what it do, homie? How you feeling? Yeah, he got that equalizer, bro. He do. He got that. He got, in the words of my brother Jay Hardcore, he got that boo bop bang. Tank got that boo bop bang, y'all. The guy can't hurt Tank. You fighting you. Yeah. Facts. That's the problem, D1. Yeah, if he don't respect you, it's gonna be a fight. You better believe it's gonna be a fight. If he got some respect for you, he can box with you. He can box with you. You know what I'm saying? But if it ain't no respect, yeah, it's gonna be a fight, and you ain't gonna like it. That's a fact, though. You did Leo Santa Cruz. Nah, that's real. That's real. Told us he fought a puncher. Had the worst fight of his career publicly. Even apologized for it. But again, yo, you gotta think, DK. I was talking about that recently with one of my bros, yo. I don't think that's the only thing I didn't like. I don't think he had to apologize for anything. And if you, I don't know if you remember the fight, DK, but I do. Like, what he apologized for was the lack of like offense inside some of the rounds, right? But ultimately, he still pitched the shutout. He didn't lose a single round, and he dropped the guy. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I think people kind of forget that because they'll jump all over like, it was a bad performance. But just think about that. The worst performance of his career, let's highlight some. In 20 fights, the worst performance of your career is you pitching a shutout and dropping a guy. And your worst performance of your career, not losing a single round. Let me see what the scorecards was again. It was ridiculous. It was so one-sided, but I get it. And again, you got to think of that speaks volumes to him. I think about him as a fighter, for him to apologize after shutting a guy out. How many people you know would shut somebody out like that, beating that convincingly, and still be like, man, I know I could have did better. You get what I'm saying? I know I could have did more. You know what I'm saying? Not too many people going to put that on themselves. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what makes him who he is. You know what I'm saying? His willingness to be like, hey, man, I know I could have been better. I know I could have been more entertaining. That's what he was saying. That's what was lacking from that fight for him. The excitement, right? You know what I'm saying? That was one of his more quieter fights, if you will. But I still enjoyed it because I seen what he was doing. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to put nothing on it, but I think he might have been sick or something around there too. So he definitely apologized. I think he had like a little cold or something like that. And he apologized for it. But again, the scorecards was what? 120, 107, 120, 107 across the board. And then he dropped Nakatila in the 4th round. So just think about that. If that's your worst night, get that to me any day of the week. If I got to have a bad night, let my worst night go like that. I don't lose a round on my... Think about... And again, I'm not about to go off into praising him. I'm just put things in perspective. Think about the level of discipline that you show in that particular fight, right? I'm not even going, oh, he's so great. None of that. No, I'm going to just be realistic. Think about the level of discipline it takes to fight a complete fight like that, right? A complete fight when you don't do your best, a complete 12-round fight without losing a round, and you drop a guy and it's still considered your worst night. Think about the level of discipline you got to display. And that's still your worst night and you still don't lose a round. I think that guy is a very unique fighter, to say the least. You get what I'm saying? Oh, he said he was talking about Monster. And well, Devin versus Tank may be a little more entertaining than Tank versus Shakur, because Devin gonna get a lot more. 88 Sports Talk, what it do, family? How you feeling? Say, feeling good, learning how to box myself, man. That's what I like to hear, Hen Dog. Appreciate you pulling up. Shakur is growing in his power as well. I feel like that too, Keith. And I always use this as an example, not to keep on saying it, but I'm particularly glad that I was able to see his last 2 fights, because one was his last fight at 130 and one was the first fight at 35. And I heard a difference in the punches being landed and the way it was sounding when he was fighting in there. And he seemed like he's a bit stronger and he felt a little bit better at 35. So let's see how his second fight look when he fight De Los Santos. He's still in that somewhat of an acclimation process, but I feel like that's going to be a faster process for him because he should have been there already. You get what I'm saying? Now, I know all he do is work his ass off. So think we're going to see a good fight, man. We're going to see a good fight come November 16th. Shakur felt Nakatilia power. Was on skates. I mean, it's hard for me to look at it like that, yo. I think that's for people that want to be critical of him. What is he supposed to do? If you get hit with a shot that you felt, and he's honest about this. Think about it. He could have been fronting. He could have said anything. He telling you this. That like a lot of the shit that people don't like to tell, he'll tell you. Like, yeah, yo, I wasn't letting him hit me with that again. That's what he is supposed to do. That's intelligence. That's ring IQ. That's why you're going to last. You're not supposed to just to entertain somebody. Oh, yeah, I'm going to put myself in a position to get hit like that again. Now, again, I think he was apologetic because he felt like he should have taken more chances and been more offensive. And I understand that. I see that as well. But again, if that's your worst night in the office, I'll take it. Like Nakatila had power, but so did Oscar Valdez. He fought him a different way. You get what I'm saying? He ain't fight him the same exact way he fought Nakatila. You get what I'm saying? So it goes to show you it was growth there. Yeah, he fought Nakatila a certain way. Yeah, you might have thought he had power. Valdez, look how he was cleaning people up. Look what he did to Miguel Burchell. He definitely got power, but Shakur approached that fight a different way and got it done. Clean too. He cleaned him up and dropped him too. Dropped his ass too. Got Tank a court 50-50 right now. Me too, man. They some dogs, man. Tank is an animal, man. It's a smart dude, man. Tank may knock dimples off court. It's possible, man. Anything is possible, bro. In that fight, man, it's possible. Tank can knock anybody out if you catch him, bro. Anybody. I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about his mentality. I'm concerned about Charlo mentality when he fights another puncher. Yeah, yeah, I get that. But I think the difference is not fighting somebody way out of your weight. Now, Tank, the thing is with him, you don't have to have a bad chin to get hurt by him. You can have a good chin and get hurt by him. So that's just what he brings to the table. He's just gifted in that department, bro. He can turn your lights out. And it's just that's what it is. But you got to know that going into it. So you got to approach the fight a certain way. Wasn't a bad performance by any stretch. It wasn't. I didn't look at it as that. You know what I mean? It was conflate bad with entertainment. Right. Yeah. Was it the most entertaining out of his fights? No. Maybe it was one of the most least entertaining out of his fights, especially from an offensive output standpoint. Right. But make no mistake about it, man. He boxed the hell out of that dude, man. Cobain was good with it, man. Got him being Tank. It ain't going to be easy, though. It'll definitely be a high-level chess match. It will be. Whatever happened, man, them two dudes, whatever happened on fight night there, man, they're going to have to earn it, bro. Both guys, they're going to have to earn it because they're great in their own right, both of them. And I'm saying, I don't care how other people feel. That fight is box office, it's must-see TV. It's a pick'em fight. You notice if anybody telling me Tank can not come out, notice I ain't said nothing yet. I know he won't. Listen, bro, I watch boxing. I know what can happen. I know what happened a lot of times when you're in there with Tank, man. He gonna do something to you. He gonna do something to you in there. If you can move and win every round while standing there and trade. Yeah, you can't. And that's why I say it's all about being smart. That's why I have a lot of confidence in him being able to rise. As far as being the cream of the crop, the intelligence. I always say that he's a very smart dude, man. Saying is we don't believe Shakur won't get hit. Nah, he definitely gonna get hit because it ain't been a fight. I mean, it's probably been some fights where he ain't been touched that often, but you get what I'm saying? No real fights at that level or you're not gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit. So you get what I'm saying? It's just the quality of shots that you allow yourself to get hit with. You get what I'm saying? Good enough for him to sit in the pocket. Catch and shoot, Shakur's the best. Yeah, I like his catch and shoot defense for sure, bro, for sure. I always say just with a guy like Tank, you want to limit his opportunities to be successful, and I feel like mixing it up. I'm not saying you can't stand in there in the pocket and try to work in there because I believe you're gonna have to do that to some degree. You're gonna have to. You're gonna force it. He can close the gap. He's athletic. He's an athlete, bro. He got fast feet, and you know what I'm saying, fast hands too. So I think you can do it, but with Tank Davis, you want to limit his opportunities to be able to land. And a guy that's landing 47% of his power shots, I think my bro Ant told me, you definitely don't want to give him constant opportunities to be able to land. You get what I'm saying? He's already very efficient. You want to limit those opportunities and try to beat him. You get what I'm saying? You want to give that guy as few opportunities as possible to turn your lights out. You know what I'm saying? Just be smart. You have to be smart fighting him. Being scary is not going to cut it. You're going to get knocked out. But if you can be smart, disciplined, and strong in that regard, and understand that you're going to have to take some shots, and you might get hit harder than you've been hit in your career, hey man, maybe you might be able to hang, but nothing is impossible. But he's a very tough guy to beat, bro. You know what I mean? Giving that kid 36 minutes, you get what I'm saying, to detonate one of them clean ones, and you know it don't take that many. Change it with 2-3 punches, bro. He changed Leo with 1. You get what I'm saying? Hector with 3. What he changed Ryan with a matter of 1 rib shot. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how dangerous he is. So you got to make sure you don't allow him to get that 1, whatever that 1 is. And it could come in either hand. And that's the crazy part. It could come to the body. It could come with an uppercut, a hook. You get what I'm saying? Temple shot. It could be a number of different things, bro. Like, so you just got to be prepared for that. And you got to understand what you're getting in there with when you facing him. It's just that simple. If all you talking about is his power, that's probably going to be your undoing, because he's so much more to him than power. That's just the most obvious. You get what I'm saying? And ain't nothing wrong with acknowledging that he's punching. Sparky Pete, what's good with it, bro? Ain't nothing wrong with that. But if you're solely focused on his power, I do believe you it's a matter of time for you, because there's so much other stuff you're going to miss with him in terms of the boxing ability, the skill set, the IQ. It's just gonna go right over your head. And if you're a person that is looking at his resume and saying, his resume is this, he ain't fought nobody that, and you think that's the reason you're gonna beat him, then good luck with that. Because resumes don't win no fights, skills and IQ do. And I'm telling you, and don't give me nothing about no power, because he got all the power he need and the boxing ability with it. That's what makes him special. So, you know what I mean? We're gonna continue to see what he's able to do. I can't wait to see his next fight. You get what I'm saying? I seen a post today with somebody saying, how is he the face of boxing and he's so inactive? Bro, like, he ain't just fight 2 times. Yo, like, what do people be talking about? It's like you almost think they don't even be watching boxing sometimes. How's Haney gonna keep off? About Tank rushed in on Ryan. Yeah, Hen Dog, that goes for any of Tank's opponents. If you can't make him respect you, which would lead to you being able to keep him at bay to a certain degree, you're going to be in trouble. You get what I'm trying to say? That's not going to be a good situation for you to be in. The last thing you need is a guy that's punching that hard, not having no respect for the existence of you in the ring with him. It's not going to end well for you, because he's not going to be careless about it. And he's very calculated. I'm telling you, calculated in there, bro. So it's like, he don't need a ton of punches to get you out of there either. So he ain't going to be throwing a bunch of caution to the wind. He just don't do that. You get what I'm saying? He don't fight like that. So you get what I'm saying? He's just going to be very economical, smart, and he's going to make them joints count. And that's why I think we keeping opponents on edge too. It'd be a mystery. You don't see what he be throwing, so you can't really pick up on no patterns, and you just trying to figure out when he going to strike. And when he do, you probably done got too lax for a second, and you take advantage of that. Bad fight, but if he fights Tank with the same style, it would be a very boring fight. Yeah, again, I think he's elevated since then, bro. Respectfully, I think he's gotten better since then. You know what I mean? That was how many fights he had since then? 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 4 fights since then. I think he's gotten better since then. And if you follow me, DK, if you notice, right, and I'm gonna just run through it because I seen the fights, right? If you notice, right, after that fight, you've seen the JERMELL Herring fight, right? You've seen his ability to walk down and be in the pocket more. People say, he was old, he's a champion. I ain't trying to hear that. He beat the hell out of JERMELL Herring. Oscar Valdez, he didn't walk him down as much as what he was doing to Herring, because obviously he has more power. But you've seen him willing to stand in the pocket a bit more with him, right? Robson Conceição, I don't know if you've seen that fight. I was at that one. He was walking him down straight in the pocket and beating his body up, hitting him up top to the body, mixing it up. He was beating him up. The doctors kept checking on him in between rounds. Yoshino, same thing. He started walking him down and putting hands on him, right? So if you just look at the maturity and the way he approached the fights since that Nakatila fight, you get what I'm saying? Some of those guys had some respectable power. You get what I'm saying? Conceição and a big puncher, but if you see the way he punched when he land clean, he got some punching power, bro. Like, nobody need to be getting hit clean with them 8s, right? You get what I'm saying? So if you've seen those fights since that Nakatila fight, you've seen a consistency and growth and him sharpening and getting better coming forward, being on that front foot and being in that pocket, making you miss, making you pay, being a little bit more mean and assertive in spots, right? And he's still finding a way to be intelligent and responsible defensively while he's doing it. So that's what I was able to see with his game. So I remember the Nakatila fight, and I remember like offensively, you like, yeah, he could have did more, but he schooled him. He took him to school. So I wasn't complaining too much. Every night not going to be your best. And if that's you on your worst, bro, I'm not about to kill you for it. You get what I'm saying? But you've just seen the growth since then. If you watch the fights, like you've seen him add that element to his game instead of utilizing the ring. He's coming forward and being in that pocket and being willing to mix it up a little bit more. So I like it. I like it. But he's got to be smart. You get what I'm saying? Got to be smart, yeah. Got to be smart. Because, again, Oscar, and again, which you're going to move with punchers. I don't understand. That's not a bad thing. That's intelligence. That's ring IQ. You're not supposed. He's not a. So not only is he not a puncher and you're going to be in there with these guys that's punching like that, you're going to stand in there and give him, you know, ample opportunity to be able to land. That would be stupid. That's why he's where he at, because he's smart. That's almost looked at as a bad thing. Some fights, if you got to take the excitement value out of it to not get your ass beat, then so be it. But every fight, understand, every fight's not going to be like that. I'm not recommending a boring fight, but I'm recommending intelligence over entertainment. I'm sorry. You don't go in there to get your ass beat. You got to be smart, bro. Got to, especially when you got somebody that could turn your lights out. Can't go in there and keep giving a guy ample opportunity to land, trying to prove something. Like you already, if you try, what you got to prove, like that you tough, you already getting in there with him. Now you prove that you smarter than him and you can outthink him. That's the name of the game. Hit and not get hit. Not see how much, if I don't excite these fans, they're going to talk about me. Win and do it fighting your way. And again, that's why I respect Devin Haney, because he will get in the ring and he's going to win the way he knows how to win. He's going to be disciplined in that regard. He could give a damn about a boo. He don't give a damn about none of that. He going to go in there and do what's necessary to get that dub. And I think that's important, because that's what the smart fighters do. That's what the great fighters do. There's a time to be entertaining and get those fans and all, right? There's a time for that. And then there's a time to just simply be smart. And you got to focus heavily on getting that dub. And Tank ain't no guy to just be in there trying to experiment or trying to prove something to somebody. You're going to prove that you can take a nap. That's just gonna be proof. Somebody gonna be tapping your leg like they was doing Leo. You're gonna be looking up. You get what I'm saying? Don't play with it. Don't play with it, bro. You got to be smart. The key is to limit the opportunities of a guy that can turn your lights out like that. You do not put yourself in harm's way just so somebody could be like, you see, he's a dog. You're a dog for getting in there with that dude. Now, don't be stupid. You get what I'm saying? You ain't get here being stupid. So, again, I'm not advocating for no boring fight. But I'm always going. I would preach, intelligence over entertainment. Like I'm going to be smart before I'm gonna try to entertain you, and that's why I think people you gotta know how to balance the two. And there'll be opportunities where you can't entertain, and you gotta be on it. You gotta take advantage of those moments, but don't force those moments by trying to be something you're not. Is what I'm saying. That's all. I ain't saying be boring and run. You would never hear me say nothing like that. But you gotta be smart. You have to be smart. You get what I'm saying? You got to. I think it's a strike star because he can captivate the casual audience, was his ability to work within the weights of 130, 140, where he finishes people Sports Center worthy. Remo, that's a fact, bro. How you feeling in the building today? Or Edwin and Navarrete and then Tank afterwards? I think, you know what I think, Key? I think they setting up a potential fight with Shakur and Navarrete. I was talking to bro about this. He put me on this. Shakur and Navarrete and damn, what's the other guy's name after? Williams and Pater, right? But probably Navarrete being line first. And if you notice, Key, they put Navarrete and versus Robson Conceição on the undercard of Shakur and De Los Santos, and that's a common opponent they would share and Conceição. So I think they lining it up. I think they could be lining it up. Pack a punch, Shakur will be able to test his chin and body shots with those guys. He needs that going against Tank, right? But you definitely got to keep Tank off balance. You got to keep him thinking, and he definitely got to respect you. If he don't, it's going to be tough. It's a tougher fight, I think, if he don't have no respect for you. You can go after Haney. His output needs to rise versus Haney and Shakur. People like Loma and Tio will walk into something. True. I was thinking I will fight two southpaws before I get in there with Shakur. Tanks need to work on catching rights and combinations. Good observation. Good observation. Southpaw. Think Camps is truck. Yeah. Hector was a southpaw. True. True. Hector's an excellent southpaw when he comes forward and packs a punch. Yeah, he got a nice punch. Ron, what it do, homie? How you feeling? I can't wait for this Shakur fight. Yeah, that's the one I want to see the most. Yeah, bro. I'm locked in. You know I want to see it. But True Southpaw is helping Coral, who is actually right-handed, and so is Bud. They both line up Southpaw, both actually right-handed. Fine, skillfully outboxing your opponent just as exciting as the knockout. Me too, because I feel like I understand what I'm watching. Joe, what's good with it, bro? How you feeling, man? You said everyone gonna beat this out of core. Let's see it, bro. Let's see it. I know that November 16th will be coming. It will be here in the hop, skip, and the jump, man. And y'all tune in and watch your master at work, man. While De Los Santos get picked apart and people complain. Yeah, you should have did this. Why didn't he knock him out in the 3rd round? Left hand from La La Land's True Southpaw, cuz they're left-handed. Right, here comes Don. What it do, my bro? Yeah, man, you already know Joe about to come in here with that blasphemy. The right hand is lining up as southpaws because of the advantages they get from the open stance. There, my bro, go cooking again. Be like, do you know where you're at, son? I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, sleep, bro. Don't get slept playing around with Tank. Just Tank and Core both gonna have to dig deep. Yeah, in that toolbox when they fight, I feel like they're gonna have to. You gonna have to really leave it in there, bro. You gonna have to, be creative, switched on. You're gonna have to limit your mistakes. You get what I'm saying? Like that's a real fight, bro. And he don't play with his food. Just know that Tank don't play with his food. So you know what I mean? But I even with the fight being as dangerous as it is, I can't wait till the opportunity comes for them to really fight each other, man. Because it need to happen, man. The best fight the best. You a winner just because of that to me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to be here, bro. I'm going to be here for it. I'm going to be here for it. We're going to see how good the southpaw is. Fight another southpaw. Candy Cole's practicing at Kappa for November, December. Salsa Santos is a great fight to me. I hope Shakur wins, but we get slapped, old man. Yeah, man. I just feel like the discipline is what's going to get him through. I just think he's for a smarter fighter, IQ on another level. I think skill set, talent, this on another level. I think the main reason that people are excited is because of the power factor on De Los Santos' side, like his ability to crack, and it's real. And he can box. So it should be entertaining to watch. But I feel like ultimately skills pay the bills. Distance and range control will help him deal with a lot of that power stuff. Like, you get what I'm saying? That loading up, trying to throw those big shots, I don't think that's going to work. And on top of that, he can punch a good bit, but I seen Adorno take a ton of shots and it was right there. You get what I'm saying? He offered very little offensively. Shakur won't do that. He won't be that comfortable just landing that wheel like that because Shakur won't be there for it, in my opinion. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying he won't get hit. It's a fight. He will get hit. But I think ultimately he'll just be too smart, too defensively sound. And I think he'll be a step or two ahead of De Los Santos for the most part of the night. And don't be surprised if he damn near pitch a shutout. I'm telling you this now. Don't be surprised. Now, I'm not surprised if dude make it a fight at all. I want to be very clear about that. I'm not surprised at all, but I'm telling y'all now, if he go out there and damn near shut this dude out, don't say, I don't want to hear he was a bum. Telling you, because I got a feeling he about to go out there and be smart, man. That's what he got to be. That's what he is, man. Mill City boxing, what it do, man? If you're not going to the fight for the fans, then be smart. Yeah, and throw them jabs, keep your distance, but try to win. JERMELL did lots of talking, and we know he really is, and JERMELL's one of the biggest at 54. But you know what? My only reservations on that is I think, it still leaves a sour taste in people's mouth, and I'm disappointed by the lack of effort, right? But I think just think about it, right? For me, and this is just something to think about for y'all. For me, I've seen the majority of the other fights, right? He's always proven to be one of those guys, a top guy, a quality fighter, a dog, a lion, all those good things, right? I think it comes a place, though, in boxing, or a point in boxing where you just bite off way too much, more than you can chew. And again, I think the most disappointing thing about the fight is the effort or lack thereof, right? You didn't get the winning spirit from him. Like you didn't get that vibe. Like you didn't see the look in his eyes. You didn't see the hunger, the competitive spirit just wasn't present on fight night, right? So those things leave a sour taste in your mouth, right? But I truly, in my heart of hearts, felt like this is more of him biting off more than he can chew, than him not being the guy that he showed us he was, right? And I know when you leave such a bad impression like that on people, it's hard to look at him like you used to, right? But for me, I would look at it like this. That's one time we seen him look that way, and it's at a time where I think he bit off more than he can chew, jumping in weight classes with no proper acclimation and just asking himself to beat one of the most experienced fighters in boxing. I mean, the man is over 60-something fights, so you know that was a tough mountain to climb, to be coming off a broken hand, a 16-month layoff, and then you skipping a weight class, and then you campaigning in a weight class without acclimating, and you going right to the undisputed champion who's fought as high as 175 and took punches from those guys. So you get what I'm saying? And up until this point in your career, you've never taken a punch under them lights by nobody outside of 154, heavier than that. So I just think it was a lot. And maybe he did or didn't consider all of these things, but I'm just not sure. Like I think the effort is what hurt, what frustrated the people the most. I think the lack of effort and just you just didn't see it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't try hard enough in some people's eyes, right? And I can't tell him what he truly did, but I know he felt the weight. I know he felt that power. I know it kept him honest. And I think Canelo was very, very accurate when he said, man, when you get in there, you're going to see that it's just a different level. Bless you, baby boy. He said it's going to be a different level. And that's what it was. He found that out, and he found it out early. I mean, it's not done. Yeah, yeah, your boy finna get rolled over. You watch, you'll see. Watch. I wonder if Shakur's patience and discipline could frustrate Tank. Good question. Because I think that's something that you want to try to do as well. You want to try to frustrate him, create doubt, make him doubt himself, gain his respect. Those are some elements that people don't account for. I think that you have to, or you want to have on your side if you're dealing with a Tank. You want to be able to have the ability to do those things, to potentially make him doubt himself, second guess himself, frustrate him. You get what I'm saying? You want to be able to do these things, because if not, I'm telling you, and again, you want to be able to gain the respect if you can't outright hurt him. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing too. You got to understand, you can't just be in there to box him because he's in there to hurt you. So I think you got to have at least that element, or that you got to have that layer of mean, and you get what I'm saying, to really go in there and deal with him. Like you can't go in there just trying to touch and move. You got to really be trying to make it count, because again, he's definitely trying to hurt you. So don't just be in there trying to box him when he's trying to hurt you. You get what I'm saying? He can box right with you, but he's trying to hurt you with it. So make sure it's your mental, man. You gotta be locked in, man. Bring the right kind of game plan to execute and know what you up against. You get what I'm saying? You got to present something to him that he ain't seen yet. You get what I'm saying? Like it too. Let's see how De Los Santos reacts when he gets countered by some sharp stuff, right? All facts, man. Has to beat somebody up bad. Get me the roof for him again. Yeah, I get it. But for me, again, like I was saying, I just seen him do it more times than not, right? I've seen him be a lion, a dog, a beast more times than not. And again, this could be a isolated incident. It doesn't excuse it, right? It doesn't excuse it. But let's say, he go back to where he was at, his weight class, and he performs well. He gets a solid, meaningful win there, right? Without looking like he did, right? Then you get what I'm saying? We'll know something, right? But I think if he comes back in another fight and he looks like this, hesitant and gun shy, like he don't want to throw punches and things like that, I think we'll see. Like we'll see more. And that's just me. I'm just I'm an easier guy on the fighters, right? Make no mistake about it. It's a very disappointing, lackluster, half an effort type performance where it looked like you just survived, right? After selling us about legacy and undisputed and for the culture, it's very disappointing, no doubt. But I ain't willing to throw him away like that, because I want to see how he respond. And I'm big on that. I'm big on you went out there and this was terrible, but I want to see how he respond. And I think that will tell us all a lot at home where he's at mentally, right? And what he still has to give to this game. Did the Canelo bag, satisfy him to the point where it stripped him of his hunger and his drive to be great? Or did the loss really, you know, sizzle in his spirit and make the dude sit down and really, you know, get back to it. So I think that's being real to the situation, right? Just give him that opportunity to see what his rebound is like. And why I say that, y'all, particularly with, see how quick people forget, particularly with JERMELL Charlo, because we seen how he responded in his first loss against Tony Harrison. Now, I know Tony Harrison was giving him a good fight in the second fight as well, but that's beside the point. You see how he applied himself and the results he was able to get. So he responds well in adversity. Maybe not in that moment, maybe not in that 36 minutes that he had to fight. It was a bad look, right? From majority, pretty much all that, the whole fight, right? But we seen how he's responded off a loss with Tony Harrison. He came back, avenged it by knockout. We seen how he responded off a draw with Castani, who came back, avenged it by knockout. So we seen him, you know, he took a knee with Canelo, got knocked down, took a knee, same difference, right? Took that knee, but he survived, right? It was a very lackluster effort, but nonetheless, you know, given his track record, let's at least get his fighter, because he's shown us it in the past, his ability to rise in adversity and bounce back after a tough fight or a loss. So again, I think that's where my mindset goes with it, right? I know it's like, man, you're wasting our money, but I'm very like, you get what I'm saying? I really try to factor everything in here. You really got to get a man an opportunity to respond from this. We still, our feelings toward this fight is our feelings toward this fight. You get what I'm saying? But you still want to see what he got left and how he'll respond, because if we just going off of what he's done in the past, he's responded very well in the past of, you know, coming off a loss or in that draw. So let's see. Let's see. His defense, Shakur runs up against someone who can take his offense away. He can't get him, but it's easier said than done. His offense is his defense. I don't look at it like that. I think because, I mean, for me, I don't know, maybe the way you process it is different. For me, people whose offense is their defense are sometimes one-dimensional or not very defensively responsible, right? His defense is his defense for me, and his offense is his offense, right? I feel like his defense can be some of his offense in a sense, if that makes sense, right? You get what I'm saying? That's how good that is. But I feel like the transitions between both, vice versa, from offense to defense or defense to offense, is some of the smoothest you'll see in boxing, right? But I get it. I get what you're saying, but I feel like there's a distinct separation there. And that's just me, maybe the way I think of it in my head, right? When I hear somebody's offense is their defense, that's typically somebody who lacks defensive responsibility, because, you know, they got to be offensive and maybe a lot of times have a high punch output to make up for where they lack defensively, right? I don't think that's just the case with Shakur. I don't think he lacks nowhere defensively, right? And I think he got a pretty damn sharp and rounded offensive arsenal. I think he can mix those combinations up pretty well, man. I get it. Everybody sees things different. Like, that's why you will never hear me tell you I'm wrong. You wrong. I just see it, you know. I just see it slightly different. You know, I do want to see JERMELL versus Crawford. I think that's a way more winnable fight for Crawford after seeing how he performed, bro. Captain America Haney's teaching the people as well. We're going to say Charlo a weight bully. We got to say Benavidez at 60. He's really a light heavyweight. Right. Right. Salute to my guy, Big Dose. Remo, him reaction. In reaction to over for JERMELL. He knew he was in trouble from the first punch that touched him, for real. Yeah, that first heavy when I hit him, yeah, he felt that, bro. He felt it. Round one, when Cinnabon touched him to the body with that liver shot, he was like, nah, that, right? Yeah. Right. Nah, I didn't catch it, man. I didn't catch it. I'll check it out, though, for sure. Down goes Stevenson. You're going to have to work for that one, though, bro. You're going to have to work for that one. The boy's sharp defensively, man. It's hard to be that good defensively. It's very hard to be that good defensively, bro. And time in and time out, fight in and fight out, time and time again, without making mistakes where you get your chin checked. You know what I'm saying? So anything can happen in boxing, but I think, you know, it's time for him to start blossoming and submitting and planting his flag at 135, man. So we'll see. Matthew says, starting to think Boo Benavidez fight may not happen if Davis are in position to fight Canelo in May. I'm sure PBC will hate for Mr. It's me again to ruin their plans. Right, Matt? I feel you, but I feel like it's on the way. It's just November 25th. So JERMELL Still a lot of money from the fans. Yeah, that's how it feel, and that's why it leaves such the sour taste. So the only way he gets that sour taste out of people's mouth, he go find himself in a meaningful fight, and he get that lick back, and he show a good account of himself and get a meaningful win, right? But that still don't erase that fight. That fight is always going to be what it was, but you can somewhat start to work your way back, you know what I mean, to where you once was. Like, because make no mistake about it, that was a bad loss. It wasn't the fact that you lost, it's the effort that you put up in most people's eyes. Is why you lost it. To people's eyes from the outside looking in, they feel like you didn't try and you laid down. Simply put, you can say you fought like a champion, you proud of yourself. That's cool, because you'll be able to sleep good at night. But a lot of people just don't echo those same sentiments, and because of that, they're gonna have a lot of different things to say about the kid and the man. And you know, he just, you know, he know what he got to do to get back. You know, you got to get back, man. And he said he's willing to go down back to 154 and fight Tim Tszyu if he got to. You know what I mean? He said if Tim Tszyu is there, he's on it. Edgar Chavez jersey is in the building. What's good, my bro? How you feeling, man? It's all good. Like that. What's good with it, man? He said these fighters trying to be smart is the issue with boxing right now. I think what it is it's nothing wrong with being smart, right? But make sure when you're trying to be smart, you're actually being smart and not hurting your career, right? Some of these people, I think, like that. Sometimes they try to, it's nothing wrong with trying to understand the business, but you want to make sure you're not stagnating your own career by trying to turn into this overnight businessman, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying? You want to understand the ins and outs of the business, in my opinion, as much as you can, but you not to your own detriment, right? You don't want to, you get what I'm saying? You don't want to get in your own way is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? By trying to be slick and thinking you know more about the business than, you get what I'm saying? Like, understand where you're at when it comes to the business, and trust that your team is going to put you in position, right? And don't be a guy that's just asking for, you know, outrageous amounts of money, or, you know, like price out type situations and things like that. Charlo versus the winner, Brian versus Tim. Still one fight I want to see and get his belt back. He said he'll fight Tim Tszyu. Said he'll fight Tim Tszyu. For me, when your offense is your defense, you are always attacking. That too, Rome. And you get what I'm saying? Notice we kind of saying the same thing. You say always attack, and I said you usually probably having a high punch output, right? To make up for where you lack defensively. And I think that can be problematic for you, especially at the elite level, because I feel like at the elite level, you got to have both. You can't have one making up for the other unless you have that other one on the other side as well. But to me, you need to have offense and you need to have defense. You get what I'm saying? You need to have a chin. You know what I mean? You need to be well. Because there's just certain things I feel like you need to have, like at that elite level. So you definitely need to be able to separate the two. You better have you some defense. You better be able to get out of the way of some shots. And you better be able to use your offense accordingly. Those a lot of jabs and punches pair, and his rhythm is so off. It's hard to get their offense off. Nah, I'm with you, Big Dose. I'm with you. That's why I like the different perspectives. Like you just showing me a different way to look at it. And I get exactly what you're talking about. That's why nobody's wrong in here with your breakdowns, bro. We see things differently, but still the same at the same time, right? I get exactly what you're saying. In other words, there are levels to this with BIVOL. True indeed. And Mel found out it was levels when he got in there. And I think the biggest level was the weight classes. Like, again, I keep saying this. I don't want to sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but you have to acclimate to those weight classes. I'm a firm believer in that. I think especially when you're gunning for the absolute, what you would look at as the top, right? You got to consider you skip the weight class as well. Get what I'm trying to say? Acclimation is very important before you take on them challenges. Just ask Andre Ward. I always use him as a prime example. He did not go to 175 and fight Kovalev right out the gate. The dude, he fought a couple fights, Sullivan Barrera and somebody else. I forget, but he fought two guys, then went there and got right with Kovalev. You get what I'm saying? And it probably made a world of difference for him to acclimate to the weight, get a little used to carrying the weight, performing at the weight, getting punched by guys that weigh that much. You get what I'm saying? It's a difference. Like you got to think, if we're being realistic, look at the jump and look at what he was asking to do. Nothing is impossible, but there are things that are very unlikely. And with him winning that fight, it was very unlikely. His chances of winning that fight, it wasn't 50-50. Paper skill wise, maybe 50-50, but no, because of the weight differential, man, and him having to jump up like that and the layoff, a number of things, the power was it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You fighting a guy that fought at light heavyweight. It's pretty obvious that he hit you. It's going to be a little different. It's going to be, a matter of fact, a lot different than everything else you've dealt with. You've never been punched in your professional career without the headgear, with no fighter that campaigns outside of 154 pounds. Now all overnight, you're gonna go from Castaño, who got you with some good shots, got you with some clean good shots. You're gonna go from him, jump to, and fight a guy that fought as high as light heavyweight. You serious? And you think it's not gonna be like a shock value? That's what it was. That's why the more I assess all he was up against, it doesn't excuse the effort, y'all. But I'm not as mad at the losses. The effort is what I'm always gonna be mad at, and for what I believe is the lack of effort. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to smash on him or nothing, but that's what I got from the fight, man. Right. Nah, that's true, Big Dose. It's true. Right. It's true, bro. He has to fight Tim Tszyu. Yeah, Rome. I like to see it. Fate, what it do, homie? Dad for the fight of the year. Who done more? Fight of the year. Because you'll look at it like he got Lomachenko win, and if he beat Regis Prograis win in another weight class. So you'll figure he defended undisputed in a year, you know, beating Loma, right? And then you turn around and you beat Regis for a title. Look, I'm not against guys getting their accolades, bro, and they just do. Maybe, yo, because those will be really two really good wins, bro. Two really good wins, great wins, matter of fact, on the resume. That's what you want to call it. Great wins, bro. A Loma win, great win. Even though the fight was close, it don't matter. You got the dub. That's all that matters. And, you know, Regis Prograis win, especially if you win impressively in impressive fashion. Very good win, but a win is a win, right? So, yeah, those would be two real good wins, bro. Charlo got to fight Fate. You on his ass, Fate, or unless you got a right hand like Thomas Hearns. True. Opulent LDTV, blessings, Brody. How you feeling, man? Appreciate you sliding through. I'm saying trying to be great, going to weight class, but don't go straight to the best guy. Yeah, you got to adjust, or at least a fight or two, bro. Telling you, man, that weight acclimation is real, man. You don't just go playing with yourself like that. Don't do it. And I'm trying to tell y'all, look at Teofimo. He's another one. I'll use him as an example. He went up there for Pedro Campa, Sandor Martin. 2 fights, then he fights Josh Taylor. What fight did he look the best in? You get what I'm saying? And he looked the best in the fight with the best opponent out of the 3. You get what I'm trying to say? Weight acclimation is real. That man looked a lot fresher. He looked stronger. His punches like that had more weight on it. You get what I'm trying to say? I really felt like if he would have truly pushed, he probably would have knocked Josh Taylor out. You get what I'm saying? Tio was taking it to him. So that acclimation is real. Them 2 fights that he got wasn't for nothing. You get what I'm saying? It made perfect sense for him to get a tougher guy after getting 2 fights first. He was ready. Same thing Ward did. It's just proven. Those are just a couple of more recent situations where you could go to and look at and see how guys moved and the success they was able to have by respecting the weight classes, man. They're there for a reason. Respect them. You don't just jump in there like, I can do this. Yeah, I've been doing it all my life. You ain't been getting punched by guys that weigh 168 pounds and rehydrating to probably 180 something, bro. That's the thing. That's the difference. And then now that guy is punching you with no headgear on. That's the difference. Like, I really try my best to understand. I'm going to always be able to separate the two. I understand why he might have behaved that way, but still from an effort standpoint, I'm never going to be cool with it. But I can level with him to some degree. Boy, you had a tall task. You had a tall task, Mel, and you knew it. But I expected, you get what I'm saying, something a little different, right? But I understand at the same token. And again, this is why you respect the weight classes. Take your time, bro. And again, the only thing that makes this a halfway decent fight or move is because it came with a bag. Other than this is how you mess your career up. You built your career being smart, strategic, not ducking no smoke. But this ain't about that. This take smart fights. This wasn't smart. This was not smart. Off a layoff, 2 weight classes, no acclimation. The #1 guy, because he got all the belts, that's the #1 guy there. You think that's smart? No, it wasn't a smart fight. It wasn't. Wasn't a smart fight. But it was a smart business move. But it wasn't a smart fight. Wasn't a smart fight, bro. Wasn't a smart fight. I respect the hell out of him for it. But it wasn't a smart fight. And salute to them boys if they did 650 to 700K. I mean, good for them. You know what I mean? Chop, what it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? That's what Boo going to get acclimated at 168 B Nichols. That's what Boo. Yeah, man. Hopefully, I hope maybe that one fight might help him teach. But I do like to see 2 fights to see you really get settled. But Hey, I guess it's one in Benavidez teach. Bole, what it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? Because it's rare that you see a fighter not use an acclimation fight to get used to the new weight class, being joining and just going straight to the top guy and being successful. I mean, listen, in some cases you're able to do it. You get what I'm saying? But it's how much of a jump. Like, it's one thing for him to have jumped one weight class potentially and done that, right? And I still think that's tough, right? In and of itself, like, weight classes are there for a reason, especially if you haven't been punched in your face by guys that's going to weigh that weight, that's at that weight class, and you got to consider the rehydration, so they're going to be even heavier. Have you been getting punched consistently by guys that weigh that much? If not, then it's going to be something different to you once you get in there, you would expect, right? So that's why I believe in the acclimation. But some people are able to do it. I mean, look, Monster Inoue did it, but the jump in pounds are not that much, so it's different. And those still smaller guys, and he's a rare case because he punched like a mule. You get what I'm saying? He's a small guy. So some guys are able to do it, you know what I mean? But again, that jumping out of weight classes, that ain't no game, bro. Some special fighters, some special can do it. Not saying Mel can't be special, but that was just a tough task. It just wasn't a smart fight. It was a smart business move, but wasn't a smart fight. They need to get used to 140 because it's been time for them to move up. Nah, I would get that though too, Joe. I get that. I understand that. I get it. The only thing I'll say is like how he gonna feel. Like, I want to know how he gonna feel for it being his first fight. After he cut the weigh in and everything, I want to see what he's saying, how he look on the scale. That's what I'm gonna be looking at. I'm suspecting he gonna be all right, man. Willow Street, what's good with it? How's Canelo at fault for what happened against Charlo? Who said it's Canelo fault? And nobody said it was Canelo fault. But I'll tell you what is Canelo fault. I mean, him not fighting true 68 pounders, but how Charlo performed has nothing to do with Canelo. He didn't do what he was, he didn't put forth the effort that people could walk away from and truly respect. He may have thought so in his head, but we just felt like we seen a guy trying not to get knocked out and surviving. But nothing I've said would make anybody in here think that I'm saying it's Canelo's fault. I don't even like that. That type of conversation, whose fault it is. Like, ain't nothing nobody's fault. But, I will say this, Canelo would get more of his just due if he was actually fighting guys at 168 and not bringing guys up. You know what I'm saying? Oh, 50% Canelo's fault. Oh, you talking to him. All right, salute to you, Weber Street. Appreciate you. Yeah, I didn't catch it. But, yeah, I just look at it like, he bring these guys up from these smaller weight classes, and I do hold him to his foot to the flame for that, because I do feel like Weller Street, think about it, bro. Us at home, he owe us that, at least that much as the paying consumer, right? You sit here and pay your money, you deserve to see a super middleweight fight another super middleweight, right? That's not asking for too much at home. You're not asking for too much by asking that man to fight other willing, able, deserving guys at super middleweight that deserve a shot at those titles. You get what I'm saying? And it's like, he wanted to snatch up the titles at 168 and become undisputed. But it's like when it comes to the responsibility that comes with that, he don't want that. He want to be able to pick fighters from smaller weight classes, drag them up and fight them and beat them up. And I'm trying my best to respect it, but it's very hard, because just think about how it's smoke and mirrors, and it robs us, the fan. You're getting legit title defenses that's going in the books at 168, and you're being reported as, you're making this history, and you're defending your first Mexican to become undisputed, this and that, and you're getting these title defenses that come along with it. But here's the bad part where it's smoke and mirrors. These guys are not 68 pounders, but he's getting credit for his 168 pound title defenses. Do you get what I'm trying to say? These dudes are not natural 68 pounders and not career super middleweights. You're dragging people up for one-offs. You get what I'm trying to say? One-offs. You did it with Golovkin, a one-off. He looked terrible. He's doing it for one-offs, snatching dudes up for one-offs, beating them up and getting legit 168 title defenses is the most frustrating thing you could watch. And it's like you torn as a boxing fan, because from the outside, like the dude just went out there, regardless of who he was in there with, he fought a solid fight, a good fight, right? But it's like you put up resistance. You have a hard time, if you thinking how I'm thinking, giving him the credit that the masses be wanting you to give him, because you see what he's doing. And it's like, bro, if you constantly got all the advantages, am I supposed to be surprised that you're coming out on top? You get what I'm saying? If you're setting the table so that it's damn near no way you lose, like, am I really supposed to be surprised that you coming out on top? You get what I'm saying? You got everything in your favor. Everything is working. You got everything working in your favor, bro. And it's crazy. So, and he's still a hell of a talent. That's the crazy part. And on top of that, this is the most frustrating part out of it all. The people that we are asking him to fight is only in his weight class, and it's not no for sure bet that he loses to all of these dudes. You get what I'm trying to say? It's not even a fact that he will lose to all these dudes. We just want to see the fights. I'm not saying undeniably 100% of Benavidez to beat him because he's young and hungry, right? I know it's going to take more than that to beat Canelo. You're more than young and being hungry. You're going to have to bring something with you. You get what I'm saying? Not saying Benavidez don't have that, but why can't we see the fight if it's right in your division and he been fighting title eliminator after title eliminator? Like, when y'all just gonna get a man his opportunity? We're paying for this stuff. At least give us what we're paying for. You're not giving us what we're paying for. You spray painting it up. You essentially blowing up guys, pounds, and then beating their asses. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, and then the most frustrating part, and I'm torn on this too, because it was Jermell's decision to take the fight, right? He understood the bag move and the challenge that came with it, right? But look how his reputation just got flipped upside down all in a night for him taking a good business move, but a bad fight. You see how all money ain't good money? Mel Charlo, you see how all money ain't good money, bro? Yeah, you made a hell of a bag, but do you see how all money ain't good money? But look what takes a hit. Your reputation now takes a hit as a fighter. Now, I don't know if you care about it or not, but now you got people questioning if you ever was a lion. You showed me the real you. And I'm over here trying to make a case how we got to at least get this man an opportunity to rebound and see how he look, right? So, you know what I mean? But it's crazy. It's crazy. In one night, one bad fight and one good business move resulted in your reputation being turned upside down. And one fight, bro. One fight. All money ain't good money, Mel Charlo. All money ain't good money, bro. Could have been beating them dudes' ass at 54, making you some bread too. You could have went over there to Australia, especially if you made something around the 10 million range, because I definitely heard you got offered that to fight Tim Tszyu. So don't tell me you can't make no bag with nobody other than taking a fight where the deck is stacked against you, bro. Like, nah, man. Look at his reputation right now. Think about everybody in this chat. Think about how you felt about Charlo for the most part as a fighter. And him being about business and standing on business, Mr. Keep Running Your Mouth. Think about how you felt about him before this fight and how you look at him now. And tell me if I'm lying. Reputation flipped upside down. All money not good money, bro. You didn't put a good account of yourself out there. And then according to your brother, if he's being sincere and honest, which I hope he is, to put that in the universe, now he's saying his kids getting bullied too. That's crazy. So, man, it's really implications. It's constant. It's blowback that came behind this. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, you secured that bag, and nobody will be mad at that. But they will always look at that performance like, bro, that did not look good. Your brother out here taking pictures with a guy that you constantly going back and forth with, that don't look good to people, right? It's just like a bunch of stuff. So I don't know, man. But again, I will say this. Jermell Charlo has lost before. And we seen how he came back in that loss. He draw before, he had a draw. We seen how he came back in that draw, after the draw. He lost here against Canelo, but the difference is, y'all, the circumstances are a bit different because it was a dare to be great kind of situation, but it came with a very lucrative bag attached to it, right? So let's see if this lucrative bag got his belly so full that he don't want to fight at the top level no more. We got to see, right? We just don't know, like, if that's the case. So that's what I'm kind of giving him some benefit of the doubt, and I'm trying to wait and see if you know, let's see how he responds, because if we just going off his past and his history, he responds very well after a rough fight, right? So I'm waiting to see if that version of Charlo is still there after a loss. He's able to pick up the pieces and get back and give us a meaningful performance, because he's done it, to my count, 2 times already. Made up for the loss against Tony Harrison, made up for the draw against Castaño, both by knockout. We know the history, right? I just want to give him that opportunity to make that next fight and see how he looked. 22 Breezy was good with it. I was hearing some in the 8 to 10 million range, but I'm not for sure on it. I don't quote me on it, bro. It's gonna happen. 10 fights between weight classes as well. How there's a form of belt at 135, but be all over the place with it. I just think top dogs look for the largest bag. Sometimes I think so too. Been wanting to fight all the fans as well. We needed to find out, dude. Right? Yeah, we needed it. We needed it for that reason, but not under them circumstances. You get me? Like, damn, like they not boxing duped us in that regard. Like, y'all didn't give us that fight at the best time. You get what I'm saying? What happened with y'all fighting at 54? We would have loved to see one of Charlos get a Canelo fight at 54. But instead, they made it safe for him to fight at 155 pounds, a made-up division, so he could have avoided the top smoke, which was wild to me. That's the most frustrating part about how he moved, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, 22 Breeze. I was hearing somewhere between 8 and 10, but don't quote me. You know what I'm saying? Don't quote me. The pay-per-view Charlo probably made it 15. You get what I'm saying? And think about it. I heard about him getting off about 10 for Tim Tszyu. And it would have been a fight in your weight class. And you fighting in front of a different audience to potentially grow your, you know what I mean, your profile and your fan base, right? And it would have been good money. That would have been good money. And you still would have been in your division dominating. Not with your reputation flipped upside down to go get no bag. Because people feeling like you cashed out. And they feeling like let down and like you just left people hanging. You told us legacy this, legacy that. And then you flipped it and said, the hell with legacy. I want the bag now. So you already talking like your stomach fed, and this the only thing that's driving you now. It's no longer legacy, it's money, bag move. So again, is you getting fed like this on this payday going to hinder you from being any level of great or getting back to your old form? Because that guy that was in there Saturday against Canelo Alvarez, that's not the guy that we've ever want to see boxing in the ring like that again. We don't need to see that version of you no more. So again, I don't think the transition back down to 54, I think that could be tricky. You get what I'm saying? That could be tricky playing with your weight, going up and down weight like that. That weight fluctuation is real. Go back down there and find yourself getting hurt or buzzed or something, man. I just don't know. So, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt, and I will, for me, before I say like, make a permanent decision, I feel like I gotta wait and see how he respond after this loss. You know what I'm saying? Because I do think he bit off more than he can chew. But if that somehow affected the way that he's going to deal with the rest of these fights moving forward, that's going to be problematic, bro. It's going to be problematic. So you can't drag in Charlo's facts. I seen it, Rome, tearing him up too. When you're the main man, you get to choose and pick who will win. Yeah, it's true. It's true. But see, the thing is, Willer, and I'm assuming you like me, so you'll pay for the fights, right? That's the issue I have with it, right? And I feel like you as a fight fan, I don't know how you look at it, right? I would have an issue with it because not only is he not fighting 68-pounders, a lot of times, like when is the last time when is the last time Canelo truly fought somebody when we wanted to see the fight, right? And even when we've been wanting to see Charlo fight him for years, right? But not under these circumstances. And you see how it had to be these bogus stipulations in place for him to take this fight. He wouldn't take this fight when it was in the same weight class. So 155 was it for him. And then through all of this time going, and he went up as high as 175, had a couple fights up there at that, have taken some punches from guys up there like that. Then you come back down. You know what I mean? He took a plethora of punches from BIVOL, right? So he's been punched by guys as heavy as DMITRY BIVOL. Then you come back down to 68, drag a smaller guy 2 weight classes up. And what do you got? You got a guy that when he got hit with something, it was like, oh, what's that? You get what I'm saying? Great power comes with great responsibility. All facts, wrong. Let's do the Frank Martin math. 40% tax 15. Hammy. James, it's not a sanctioning fees. Oh, if you talk about Frank Martin, I always listen. 22 Breeze. The only thing I can say about that is if I wish Frank Martin would have got exactly what he asked for, bro. So we could have got the fight. Salute to Frank Martin. Can't wait to see him back. A1 Hoop Zone, my brother. What's good with it, A1? How you feeling, bro? Made that Mayweather fight many years before he finally fought him. Yeah, and I always thought the hold up, like obviously, I mean, from my vantage point from all the information and things that I've seen through the years, I always felt like the hold up was the lack of testing. The fact that this man didn't want to do the testing, to just put it that way. And I heard it was some big that fight was approached carefully because people truly felt like he wasn't a clean athlete, and they had to be very particular in how they approached that fight and when. Like, there was feelings that the dude could have been cycling on and off some. So it was that fight was approached very cautiously, if I could say that. You get what I'm saying? And in my opinion, for good reason. I mean, we get coming off a hand injury, the long layoff, bro. 2 weight classes, the 16-month layoff. the broken left hand, and then the re-injury of the hand. He's saying it was all good, but I'm not saying that was there. But it's just so much. Like you start. That's what I mean when I say the deck is stacked up against you. You could just see like, that could be a potential issue. And it's like you look over there at Canelo, and all you hear about is all his injuries. Hell, he feeling better than ever. He running the mountains. He feeling like nobody could beat this version of Canelo. Like my bro said to me, ain't nobody catch that. When he said, y'all ain't raised nobody eyebrow when he said nobody could beat this version of Canelo. What's that version of Canelo? What version are you now? That you wasn't for 4 or 5 fights in a row. Literally no exaggeration. What Canelo are you now 5 fights later? So now, you Benjamin Button now in boxing. So you getting younger. You're getting younger. It's 60, close to closing in on 70 fights, but you're getting younger. Nobody can beat this version of Canelo, is what he said. Man, I'm telling you, bro. I just have an issue with, like, you know, it's hard when you define them kind of odds, bro. You look a certain way for 4 years in a row, or not 4 years in a row, pardon me, about 4 fights in a row, maybe. And then it's like, boom, oh, you know what? I ran the mountains this time. I really worked out. And you know what? My wrist is, you know what? No more wrist and hand injury, right? I'm like, okay. But again, I will say this. He didn't have the necessary resistance put up where it could show what he really truly is or what he is not, right? I think he got a chance to fight that fight at the exact pace he wanted to fight. He got the chance to fight on his terms whenever he wanted. He got to do exactly whatever he wanted. No disrespect to Charlo. Canelo did what he wanted on that night. He did whatever he wanted. So I want to see how a fighter look if there's a reasonable amount of resistance put up, like a good fight. I want to see if you still look like that version of that guy. That's all. You get what I'm saying? That's what I could say. Maybe he looked some of what he did because of that reason. I think that was a large part of it. I think Charlo just allowed him to have his way. Like, that was the easiest out of his last handful of fights by far. You know what I'm saying? And I think, you know, that's probably one of the easier fights that he's had, especially considering it at the elite level. Like, it was a sparring match for him. Michael White, what it do? I was about to say, me, Michael White, what it do, homie? How you feeling? He said, off that. Me, I'm telling you, man, I just don't be knowing sometimes. Kind of local sports, what it do, homie? How you feeling, kind of? Man, he sued Floyd and won for the drug accusations. I don't know. I never heard about that, to be honest. Like, I don't know if that went over my head, but I never heard about Manny suing and winning for drug allegations. I never heard about it. Must be that same me Crawford and Spence be eating. Shit, Crawford and Spence ain't never popped for nothing, though. You know what I mean? They ain't never known to have no clenbuterol in their system. That don't mean he wasn't doing it right. Let's be honest, Canelo specifically, a smart businessman. You really think he's going to risk losing to the young lions like Benavidez and Morrell and losing a spot at the top of 168 pounds? That's the problem, though. And part of me feel like he don't want to risk it against specific fighters, but that's like not accepting the responsibility that comes with being a super middleweight champion, right? And that's showing very little respect for the sport that you represent. You say you love boxing. This is your life. You love boxing. Cool. We want to believe that you love boxing. Well, can you love it enough to fight somebody in your division next fight? Please. Like, that's all. You can pick them. Like, you always pick your guys anyway. Just pick a super middleweight. And listen, I'm cool. Just pick somebody that's actually, you know, been taking punches. That's a true, you know, that can really give you some of a fight, bro. That's all I want to see. Smart one's gonna get caught. That's the reality. Yeah, that. And I don't even like to say that they're smart. The sneakier ones just don't get caught, man. The really good cheaters, maybe. He said, don't ask me to pay for it, right? He said, Manny sued Mayweather for defamation of character and got paid out. Yeah, that might have went over my head, man. I ain't never really, what's the name into that? And I don't know. I'm gonna have to, I'll look that up. Main Biker, what's good with it, Brody? Appreciate you pulling up. I ain't never really catch that story. I got to look that up. I'm going to look that up, y'all. I'm going to look it up. Definitely going to look it up. You know, if I've been Benavidez and Morrell, Andre, who would you put your money on? If I'm putting my money on Wheeler, because of experience, man, it's hard to bet against Canelo, bro. It's very hard to bet against him, bro. But those are still, just even if I lean toward him in them fights or feel like he'll win, that still don't mean that they shouldn't happen, right? Because it's like saying, you get what I'm saying? If you're going to beat the guys for sure in your division, then what you think you're going to do to a guy that you're dragging up to? You know what I'm saying? 1 or 2 in the cases where he's done it. So for me, like, it's hard to bet against him, Willer. It is. It's really hard to bet against him, man. You got to think, you know, one of the ways the possible victory is usually a knockout. It's like, that's really unlikely when it comes to Canelo. Not saying he can't get knocked out, but, you know, the chances of it is not that high. So, you know, and then now you got to deal with winning a decision on the cards and getting a favorable decision. And if you've seen it more times than not, people don't get favorable decisions against Canelo. That's just what the history has shown. You get what I'm saying? Even Mayweather, like I always say, it should have been a UD, but it was a majority decision. You get what I'm saying? You're supposed to fight. That's Morel and BIVOL, right? You got to fight them right people, man. You got to fight the right fighters rather than fight Benavidez. He probably choose the path for least resistance. And activity is a major problem for the top PBC fighters. Yeah, for some. Because I just heard Tank was inactive and he fought twice this year. So there's like, yo, he's just so inactive. I don't know how he's a top guy. I'm like, so you didn't see his 2 fights? Okay, cool. All right. They always Canelo could fight anyway. His fans still support him. Yeah. Right, they love it. They eat it right up. Morel, BIVOL, or Benavidez. True, wrong. Out of this list he gave, I would bet on Morel. And yeah, and if I had to, out of the ones, I ain't gonna lie, Connor, and I'm not just agreeing. The youth, I believe in that young dude, yo. If it was one of them that I would really bet on, because he got the youth, the skill set, and I think the pedigree, and I think the shock people, and I think his number of fights got people feeling like he ain't what he is, but I think he's a special fighter. I really do. Playing Benavidez for last September. I hope it is. Yeah, just look at the BIVOL fight, 115 to 113. We know it wasn't that close, so it's hard to get those favorable decisions against him. And you really got to, you almost can't bank on somebody knocking him out, right? But you can see, you've seen him outbox and still get a favorable decision, so it's tough. He was going to fight Mike Penn, Smoles. Is he? The Cuban School of Boxing. You know it. He was getting fan from, yes. Oh, Canelo. Yeah. Right. Not sure if he wins, but that's who I would trust the most on the list. Me too. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie, because I really think he can beat Benavidez, Morel, with the style. I really do. I think he got something special going on with him, man. So time definitely gonna tell. But I like what I see with David Morel. He's just constantly improving and getting better. Mike Penn, Ennis. Like, oh, this dude. Oh, he's saying something. Mike. That's an actual fighter too. That's an actual fighter. Did you see the epilogue? Is out for Mel and Canelo? Nah, I didn't watch it. Miss Joette. Did you catch it? Did you watch it? It was crazy as Canelo couldn't even land in the double digits in 10 out of 12 rounds at the BIVOL fight. But they gave him 115. Yeah, the 113. Yeah, it was wild. BIVOL landed almost 100% more than Canelo. He was tearing him up. Canelo rather move up and fight Arthur rather than fight Morel or Benavidez in his own division. Yeah, man. I don't know what it is. I mean, that's the only thing I ask of him as a fight fan. You know what I mean? You got to pay for him to watch him. Pay-per-view guy. You ask super middleweight. Your responsibility is simple. Fight guys in your weight class. Nobody needs you to try to dare to be great. None of that. Just fight dudes in your weight class and be great doing that. You know what I mean? That's all. Because it's asking too much to be asking these dudes to jump up like that and fight him. He got a ton of experience. There's going to be a lot of things that, you know, it's going to be like a tall mountain to climb, and it just ain't going to work. Let me tell Canelo ain't never been knocked down, so ain't nobody knocking him out. You got to dominate him like BIVOL. Yeah, pray the judges don't cheat you. I'm telling you, it just came out. Oh, okay. Came out while I've been up here. Okay, maybe I'll check it out. Or wait for somebody to watch it and then check it out, because he kind of get on my nerves with that performance, man. So But I might take a peek at it. Appreciate you, Miss Joette. But man, we will see, man. Probably gonna be the same because the guy relies on athleticism throughout the fight. Man, adding that weight to fight Canelo is a mistake. Yeah, I think that the 3 weight classes, that's 21 pounds for Crawford. I just don't see no scenario in which he jumps 3 weight classes, which would be, like I said, 21 pounds to fight Canelo Alvarez. I think that would be one that would be like, it'd be good money, but all money and good money. I think that would be a way to like damage your career unnecessarily, right? And I could see that fight playing out in a similar fashion that Amir Khan and Canelo played out, with Amir Khan piecing him up until he got caught. I really could see that. You know what I mean? I don't think there's no scenario where he makes it out 12 rounds without getting clipped. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. And skillfully, he'll be right in the fight. He'll be able to hang, but I think the size will just be too much, and Canelo will end up imposing his will and landing the shot, a kill shot, and I think that'll be it. No, watching, I already know what happened, right? I just think it's the preview of the epilogue Saturday. Okay. Really 40 pounds, count how much weight Canelo put on. Right. You get what I'm saying, Joe? Like, it's crazy, bro. From his, I think I can actually do that moving up. Yeah, I think, like, because I had somebody saying that in the comments, and I'm saying to him, because he was like, yo, you bonkers if you think you something. Canelo beat Crawford, I outbox the hell out. And I'm like, yo, skillfully, yes, he has the skills to be able to outbox him, but it's the size. Like, you got to account for the 3 weight classes. You got to account for the fact that he's been hurt by a 35-pounder that was a natural, 26-pounder. You get what I'm saying? You can't train your chin. You got to, factor in the fact that he's never been punched in his face, to my knowledge, to our knowledge, by somebody bigger than the guy that at welterweight. So, this whole notion, jump 21 pounds and now allow a super middleweight to punch you in your face that been at 175 like heavyweight. That's crazy. Don't even play yourself like that. And there'd be a ton of people that want to see him take the challenge just so they want to see him lose. Like, look, and if he with it, look, I'll support it. I'll watch it skillfully. He'll be in the fight. You get what I'm saying? But again, that size would just be far too much, in my opinion. Like, it's way too much. 21 pounds. Then you got to pick up all that weight over one training camp. Think about how his body going to look. His body not even going to look right. You get what I'm trying to say? His physique going to be off. Like, putting on 21 pounds and over a training camp to fight a guy. Nah, that'd be a mistake. But yeah, I think he's considering it. He thought about it, but then when he really sit there and think, I think his reality gonna settle in. He gonna be like, nah, I'm bugging. Because his first reaction was like, he said the highest he'd go up is 54. Now all of a sudden you gonna scrap that and say, yeah, that money is there. I'm gonna go to 68. I just don't know. I know people like money, but I don't think he's willing to do that. If you spar heavyweight with 13-ounce gloves and no headgear, and Joe, all that's gonna do is soften him up for the fight. That gonna soften him up for the real fight. You know what I mean? You get there, get sparked for real. But it's just, and he said it out of his own mouth. His weight class is for a reason, bro. He said it. Like, he said the highest he'll go up is 54. So I know he since then said something different, but I just think, he was just throwing that out there, man. And I ain't saying he won't be crazy enough to do it, but that's very, very risky. And me personally, as a fight fan, I'm not asking him to do that. You know what I mean? I like to see him at 54 and see what he can do there, but I don't want to see him, or for Boots fight if I was lucky enough to see it. But other than that, nah. Other than that, I don't know. Other than that, I don't know, man. Yeah, man, he probably did regret it after moving up. And he probably did. I'm pretty sure by the time he realized it was too late, though. It was too late. Still won a big fight. That's what Bob Arum is saying. And I think fate, from what Brody was telling me, that February 10th date might be for T.O. The question is who they going to put him in there with, right? You know what I mean? You hear him throwing Ryan out there, but that would be a quick turnaround from Oscar Duarte to, you know what I mean, from December 2nd to what? February. Yeah. Couple months. And some change, maybe. I don't know. If you do, you hit balls high. He said we'll be back, but again, so right, that's what I'm saying. I think that date might be for him though. The February 10th date, Feb 10th, or work your way up fighting in different classes. True, I can't be Ryan. What if he loses? That's why I say, man. That's why I think he said that he's on board with it. It's a good idea. Him and Oscar friends. He said it's possible, but he can't guarantee it, right? But he, basically like that's what he on board with. And I think the reason why that answer, if anything, is so uncertain because they got to see how Ryan looked December 2nd against Oscar Duarte. Like he could find himself getting hurt against this dude. So, you know what I mean? It's gonna be interesting. I did hear other names. I heard linked with Tio was Arnold Barboza and Jose Ramirez. So I wouldn't mind seeing Jose Ramirez fight Tio, though. I ain't gonna lie. Be entertaining scrap. Fight with Garcia and Lopez happen, I'd rather have it on Cinco de Mayo, Memorial Day weekend, or Mexican Indigenous Day. I don't know. I don't really care. The sooner the better. That's how I look at it. I don't really be caring when these fights, what dates they fight on, because I think it's all marketing anyway. At the end of the day, I think they feel like there's more visibility for them to gain, I guess, fighting on that February 10th, the Super Bowl weekend, which I can understand that way of thinking. So, I mean, I think it'll do fine. I mean, it's just all depending on who they get there. Jose Ramirez was Tio. I'm telling you, Fate, I did hear that thrown out there. I did hear it. I don't know how, I just heard that as a potential opponent. And I know he said in the past numerous occasions he don't want to fight Barboza. He a bum, different stuff. So, I'll say if you're not gonna fight Barboza, Jose Ramirez seemed like a good call. He said Tio versus Pitbull, that'd be wild. But yeah, man, no matter where they put it, I think it'll sell because of the names. If it's Tio and Ryan, only wants to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Facts. Versus Subriel Matias. That's a banger right there. Subriel Matias definitely can push him and give him some work. I mean, he had to be on his P's and Q's, but I think Tio could win that fight for real. I think Subriel Matias is a bit limited, and he's a real tough guy, but I think that's his calling card, and people don't talk enough about his skills. And man, I'm gonna go watch some more of him, but he throws caution to the wind a lot, man. He leaves himself open. He's just not that responsible defensively, man. He got a pretty decent inside game, man. He do some good work on the inside, but he just leaves himself open a lot. And I don't think he could bulldoze through everybody. You get what I'm saying? That's how he look like he approach fights. He be trying to just bulldoze through you, and that's how he got the one loss he got. And the ropes held him up. It was like a knockdown, but the ropes held him up, so he ended up losing that fight. You heard the rumor that for me, Canelo might be Carlos Adames. Yeah, bro. Did you hear what he was saying to him? Till fight Tank so bad, he said some wild stuff. Yeah, me too, Key. Me too. Mm-hmm. Me too. Matias was his defense and Gas Tank is questionable. Yeah, it is. And you go look at his fight, Key, against Petros Ananian, the one dude that he lost to. You'll see it. You'll see exactly what he still has, those same deficiencies and same weaknesses that he had in that fight. And that was some fights ago, right? He still's that same guy from a defensive standpoint. I'm just not as high on him as everybody else, but I know he's a dog, right? You know what I mean? I want to watch some more. I might be missing some things, man, because he could do some real good inside work. But, man, he'd be getting touched. So I think he just need to sharpen up defensively for real. I believe Antoine will KO Matias. He too willing to slug it out. Yeah, but I think you know what it is, Bole. I think he do got the boxing ability. I think he just got to be put in a position where he got to respect you enough to stick to some boxing instead of slugging it out. You're going to see, though, because I think Antoine Russell really can do both. I want him to show that other dimension and element and layer to his game so people will really see that from him and rock with him. He's more than just a knockout artist. He definitely got some skill and talent. I'm saying that's nearly done for February. Yeah, man. I had the clip up with Am talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Say you can't guarantee it, but he said that's what he on board with. Like he's all for it. So we'll see. I don't believe that Canelo's dumb as rumor. Yeah, it's crazy because Adames said he'll make Canelo run. He said he won't be able to stand there with him, and yeah. All right, get a salute to my good brother Blue. What's good with it, Blue? Kid Austin, my star Shakur. And look, anybody can be stopped on any given day, man. But Kid Austin got ask Kid Austin who his favorite fighter is, Joe. You probably don't even know who his favorite fighter is, do you? Ask him who his favorite fighter is. I think the slugger star of boxing is very limited. I don't show a ton of defense. I think that's what people know. I think that's just how you talk to some degree too. You know what I mean? Some people are taught and trained and developed better than others, man. And some guys just go off their natural, abilities and athleticism and stuff like that. And they just take it where they can take it. But it's honing them skills, man, which really make you sharp, bro. So, man, them one-dimensional just, come forward guys ain't gonna cut it all the time. Yeah, I know he just be going in on my boy Key. He always going in. I like Carlos Adames comments, but I don't see him making Canelo run. Me neither. I think it's rubbish. I think he would be doing the same thing he just did, bringing another 60-pounder up to 68. And this whole notion that he gonna stand right there and bang with him, I just don't think he'll make it out the fight. I think that's how you get knocked out. Like I can't pick him to beat Canelo. I just can't. Not enough experience. He nice, but nah. And you gonna be undersized too? Nope. Don't even do it to yourself. We already had to sit through that. I ain't trying to watch that no more. I don't want to see no more blowing up fighters. No more. So, man, we gonna see, man. But salute, man, to everybody in the building, man. Y'all smash the like button. Appreciate everybody pulling up for this second cook. Let's see how the pieces on the puzzle, how the pieces on the chessboard, play themselves out. Let's see if Carlos Adames is really seriously in the runnings for a fight with Canelo Alvarez, which would be complete BS. It'd be complete nonsense. Devin Haney did say he feel like Regis is the best fighter at 140. So I think he understands building up your opponent and not tearing them down because you got to fight that guy. So, how can people respect you if you're going to just say Regis is trash? Like you ain't going to be expected to get no credit for it. So I think he understanding the game that you're not supposed to shit on your opponent. In fact, you should build them up. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, BIVOL got his own style for sure. For sure he do. But yeah, real quick, to touch on something. Yeah, Leonard ELLERBE seems to think that DMITRY BIVOL is not elite. Now, I like Leonard ELLERBE, but I just couldn't level with him right there. He said he don't have an elite style or something to that effect. He's just not elite. I was like, but bro, what? BIVOL is not elite? Like, I've never heard that before. BIVOL is not elite. He said BIVOL is not elite, like Tank, Bud, and Shakur or something like that. I'm like, huh? Man, BIVOL is elite. I don't know what you're talking about. I think BIVOL is a damn elite fighter. I just don't see how you can look at him as one. Crush, what's good with it, Brody? You know what I mean? I wish I could see a fighter that combines the slugger style that we're talking about with the elite boxing. I mean, I guess you won't see it because they're like contrasting things, bro. They kind of contrast each other, right? Slugger style with elite boxing. Like, you don't usually see sluggers with elite level boxing, right? So it's probably less than likely you'll see those two in that regard. But you can see a high level slugger to a certain degree, right? Like what I'm saying is all sluggers ain't created the same. Some people have a method to their madness, bro. You get what I'm saying? Everybody's just not your conventional boxer and throw their punches straight down the pipe. Some people just got some awkward styles, man, and they slug, but it works. BIVOL's an elite as they get, you know what I'm saying? Go see tripping, right? When we talk crazy, yeah, Creole the Traveler, what it do, homie? How you feeling, bro? Don't get Evan the Sons. I said Shakur, I'm knocking them out. Man, I'll be surprised, man. I'll be sick a little bit, man. I'll be mad he knocked my boy out. But I'll be right here to call the fight and call it straight down the middle and give De Los Santos his credit. Matter of fact, if he was able to do something like that, he'd get a lot of credit because it'd be so unexpected. It'd be a big upset, yo. It'd be a big upset. But Shakur just got to go in there and be smart, man. He fought power punches before. He know how to deal with them. I mean, I want to see him really deal with this dude. But De Los Santos, I like him. He stepped to the challenge. That's what's more important. Like, win, lose, or draw, I'm still going to rock with him and support the dude. You already know I'm rocking with Shakur, but I ain't necessarily rooting against De Los Santos in that manner, right? I'm not against him as a fighter. I rock with him, but in this fight, you know, I'm picking Shakur. Just a smarter fighter, different level, you know, pedigree. You know, De Los Santos got pedigree of his own. He rides some momentum, coming off some good wins. And he got heart, he got punching power, got boxing ability. He going to come to fight. Should make it a fun fight. You know what I'm saying? Should be fun to watch. People start playing with nose. Man, I'm telling you, about time Dev figure some things out. Yeah, man, he feel like him and Tank is the biggest fight. The crazy amateur career, didn't he? Wasn't he like one of the best amateurs? Yeah, man, B was a hell of an amateur. He was. The slugger, he breaks ribs. Guys like ELLERBE, promoters like TGB have never respected non-U.S. fighters. They think the U.S. is above the universe. Yeah, forget that. It's a whole world outside it, which has talent too, and a ton of talent too, Ghost. BIVOL active. Yeah, I forget what names they was mixing up with BIVOL, man. It was mixing some names up with them. JusDueBoxing, Capper of the Year, Frank Martin, Bill Haney. Yeah. Who I think Bill makes so many more appearances. You might just go with him. Frank Martin just, you know, make a couple appearances. You don't really send Bill be out on deck.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well, I already been getting these bet, but now it's time for you to get your JusDueBoxing.
Can't really. People are saying Carmel Moulton beats Lee Wood and Josh Warrington right now. He has 1 4-rounder. I think it's because of I think it's the style of the young boy, bro. I think it's the style, temperament, obviously expectation level, and I think they see weakness in those guys on their way out. It could be a drastic miscalculation. They could be wrong as hell. You get what I'm saying? They could be wrong. But we'll see. We'll see. I can't believe people are saying, yeah, but yeah, man, we'll see, man. With the young boys, I know they just got high hopes for him, man. So they're gonna keep him keep his name out there. Europeans ain't all that bad. They're elite and they like that. Yeah, they can be, man. True indeed. They can be in the amateurs, the Russian, Cubans, and Central Asia run boxing. They just never get their credit or shots in the pros. It's crazy, right? BIVOL versus Yard, a decent matchup for fun. Yeah, that'd be fun to watch. It seems Heyman don't like doing business out of the U.S. People send out his fighters if the bag is big enough, though. That's about it. Yeah, the thing is with Heyman, though, from what I understand, 22 breezy. Like, if you ever listen to what the fighters say, he be giving people their blessings and putting people in position to make, you know, these big paydays, and he be making sure that they know they got his blessing and going over there to do it. So that's what I do appreciate about him. He allows people to make their money and get their bag, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day. He care about getting the fighters paid, and that's what's up. And Mason stopped his dude in 40 seconds flat. Had him puking in the ring and everything. Damn, I missed that one, bro. The Mason brothers is different. The Mason 5 is different, bro. Nuts. We'll put hands on Bam when they spar. Ask them reel it back. Just what the streets say. Man, he say put hands on Bam. Damn, Benavidez will coming. I can't wait. November 25th. That's my son's birthday. It's November 25th. Elijah Garcia at 54. Yeah, I like Elijah Garcia, man. I like it. But he just got to tighten up defensively. Benavidez gonna have a crazy wake-up call. He said, yeah, right. He said, but yeah, man, Leonard ELLERBE saying BIVOL wasn't elite was crazy to me. I think he's been at the top of his game for some years now. He's as elite as they come. He's disciplined, hell of a style. Good dude, good fighter. I just want to see him back in the ring, see what's next for him, bro. See what's next for the young scrapper, man. And let's see what Tank Davis do next, man. But I see if him and Haney ever situate a fight. Haney seems to feel like that. Like, and again, the reason why I'm talking about this, because there's no way you can feel like you and somebody is the biggest fight in boxing and not want to make that fight. And he did say he's looking to make the biggest and best fights out there, and he's willing to work with people. That's your birthday too, November 25th. Salute to the Queen Karma, man. Salute to the Queen. I give her just.
And we ain't never got to box again. Well. I already been getting these bet, but now it's time for you to get your JusDueBoxing.
So that's my baby boy birthday. He will be 6. Can't rely on just size and aggression when it's your boo. Yeah, the best mid-range fighters, Boo Boo, Shakur, and BIVOL. I think the excellent mid-range fighter. Salute to the Queen Karma. How you feeling? Real Me C2 said the new generation fans idolize a young, attractive, handsome fighter like Ryan Garcia. That's why he brought a million new eyes to boxing. People still pay to watch him fight. He understands market. Yeah, some people do. The casuals, he's captured the imagination of the casuals for sure, bro. Make no mistake about it. But I think, you know, some of that is Ryan is not without talent either. It's just the lack of discipline and commitment. I think that's held him back thus far, right? Like he's essentially gotten in his own way. And even with all that being said, he still only has the one loss, and that was to Tank Davis. So nothing to hang your hat about there. He's still young enough, fresh enough, where he can do something about it. It's a matter of putting the right work in the gym so you can then get better results. And I feel like if he's buying into the trainer that is Derek James and his system over there and how they do things, I think he'll find himself being an improved fighter. So what you'll look for come December 2nd when he get in there against Oscar Duarte, you look for subtle improvements and see if he's smoothing out any of those rough edges he has. See if he's improved defensively, hand positioning, right? You know what I mean? Bad habits of dropping the hand and different things like that, pulling straight back, stuff that he's been known to do in the past that caused him issues, right? Things that have gotten him knocked down even. So let's see if he learned anything under in this training camp with Derek James. And let's see if he's able to come out here and not only win, but possibly win impressively if possible. Devin put a glass eye to sleep. MSP a fool, man. He came right there with a salute to you, fam. Y'all make sure y'all smash the like button, sub to the channel if you're new. Make sure y'all turn y'all notifications on. This is the second live of the day. Salute to everybody that came to the first one. We just gonna keep grinding, man. Ain't something then you can't keeping this shit out there in the air. Facts, Rome. Let's see if he improved. If he made any subtle, like you don't look for leaps and bounds type of changes. You look for subtleties, right? Things where you consider he hasn't had all that much time, but just one solid training camp. You can look for some type of difference, right? You just want to see him be more responsible defensively and pick his shots better instead of just relying on his speed and athleticism so much, right? And power. You want to see him really set traps, set things up, be smart, disciplined, go to the body, mix it up. Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna see what he's able to, pick up with Derek James. It's gonna be interesting. Devin Regis, 50-50 fight. I think both guys' focus is going to be important. I think Regis will look better than he did in his last fight. I think, the fact that they got a chance to just focus solely on each other, I think you'll see a better performance from both guys. I think they'll show better accounts of themselves from their last fights, right? And I think, the movement, the jab, the length for Devin could be issues for Regis. You get what I'm saying? You're going to use them legs. I believe he's going to be in top shape. I think that's going to be one of his game plans to utilize the ring and keep that jab in his face, set up the straight right hand, go to his body when he can, and try to win a fight. You're going to try to clean, swim without getting wet, be clean in there. And I think, what Regis coming to do, pose as well, close the gap, and land big shots. Regis want to fight. He don't want to box. So it's going to be up for Dev to make sure that Regis stays boxing. And as long as he stays boxing, that should be an advantage for Devin. But when if Regis forces it to be a fight, that's advantage for Regis, obviously. But I think with Dev's ability, his discipline, and the way he fights, just temperament, I think he's good enough in that regard to utilize the ring and get in and out of there and be smart doing it. I don't think he should sit in the pocket for any substantial amount of time with Regis. That just wouldn't be advantageous to him. So I think it'd just be, wise for him to box, move, get his, and get up out of there. Like, you don't want to find yourself, being greedy because Regis do got that fight changing power, and you don't want to find yourself getting slapped. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, champion. Leonard Ellerbe said he not elite. It was wild, bro. Did he say 140 to the end of the year? Yes. Did he stay at 140 to the end of the year? Yes. And you talking about? I appreciate you, Mike Biggs. You already know, my bro. Much love and appreciation. I'm going to just get to the 3-hour mark. That's the next 2 minutes. So we're going to get to the 3-hour mark, and we're going to ride out, man. Salute to everybody in the building. Like I said, I definitely think BIVOL is elite. He showed it. He's a top guy for sure. I mean, if Canelo is elite and he beat Canelo, then what? Like, how is he not elite? All right, whatever. But you know, everybody has their opinion and interpretation of it. I think BIVOL is one of the better fighters in boxing, one of the best fighters, top dog for sure. And he's been proving it for a while now. So we'll see what's next for him. I want to see what's next for him. I would like to see them get that unification going. I mean, that undisputed going and get it over with. But we're going to have to wait and see. But like I said, Dad feels like Tank is the biggest fight in boxing. So I still got hope. I feel like that window is open, because how could you openly admit or say that you feel like, you know, the biggest fight in boxing is with a certain guy and you not be willing to make it? And I don't see Dad being that guy. So I'm very optimistic that at some point these dudes can make a fight happen. You know what I mean? I'm very hopeful that they can. So let's see. And salute to Charlo and Canelo. I'm hearing reported 650 to 700K pay-per-view buys. I heard they did a $20+ million gate. So that's great for the sport. I think we continue to support things even when they don't give us the absolute best product possible. So I think if they continue to improve on this year and build meaningful fights and cards, because one thing you could say, man, maybe the main event didn't deliver, but the rest of the fights were solid. The rest of the card was pretty damn good. You get what I'm saying? And competitive matchups to a certain degree, right? So good overall, good card, but main event didn't deliver. A little lackluster on Charlo's behalf, but let's see what he do when he returns, because like I said, he responds very well after tough fights. So let's see if he changes MO. Let's see if the money got him lazy and make him complacent. We're gonna see. We're gonna see, man. So with that, man, y'all make sure y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Good Friday, man. Much love and appreciation to everybody in the building, man. Salute to the fam in the super chat. Appreciate all y'all as well, man. We just gonna keep grinding, y'all. So with that, man, we gonna get up out of here, man. And we more than likely be on. We probably call some fights tomorrow. Fights, I believe, is you got Alberto Lopez. Not Alberto Lopez. Damn. Damn. I can't even think of the names of the dudes. I'm mad as hell. I'm drawing a blank right now. I can't even think of the guys that fight tomorrow. You already know, Creole. Appreciate you, family, as always. Baby, Haney Cap. Salute to y'all. Charles sleep for the suit. PJs now. Yeah, Remo, if he can't get over that, like, you get what I'm saying? I want to see if his stomach's so fed to the point where it's made him complacent and killed his hunger, right? That's just something that remains to be seen. And I'm not a guy, obviously, I could tell I don't throw fighters away, right? It's still a tough loss. It's a bad loss. But I still want to give that man an opportunity, because he's proven to us so many times that he is a dog, as opposed to that one time where he was not. And like I said, sometimes you bite off more than you could chew. I think that was the case against Canelo, and he paid for it. But let's see how he rebounds. You know what I mean? But with that, much love and appreciation, everybody. Peace to my brothers, Mike, Big Dog, Willie, all things, Joe, Champy, the rest of the gang, man. Ant McQueen, you already know, Creole, MSP. Salute to all y'all. Real Meek, Queen Karma, salute to you. Ghost, my guy, Fate, you already know, Rome, the rest of the gang, man. Y'all enjoy that Friday, man. We be back tomorrow probably to call these fights. Y'all already know. So we gonna get up out of here on that note, y'all. Peace to the fam.